If you go out in the woods, you
Yeah.
hear that.
David Attenborough is turning over in his
That's
grave right now.
No, I don't think so. That's a hell of a kill call.
The Daily Blender, weekday afternoons on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Are you tired of buying bottled water to drink and living with hard chlorinated water in your home? Imagine bottled quality alkaline water in every faucet with a system that has no maintenance and no filters to change. A system designed to last over 15 years. Introducing the pH Smart 5000 Whole House Alkaline Water System. A system so advanced, health-minded consumers and athletes are using this technology to enhance a healthy lifestyle. Championship professional basketball coach Frank Vogel knows the importance of protecting his family and improving athletic performance. Take a listen to why he uses Earth Smart Water.
Earth Smart Water is Phoenix's best choice for no salt whole house filtration. Best in price, best in quality, best in service, and customer satisfaction with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. You can trust Earth Smart Water to protect your family and home with clean, healthy, alkaline water from every tap in your home.
Call today at 480-656-1248 to experience the incredible benefits of alkaline water in your home. Just call Earth Smart Water at 480-656-1248 or visit us at eswaz.com.
500 apiece, you get rid of that fine for 500, 500, 200 apiece, 100, 150, 150.
The best weekly auction is right here in Arizona. It's only a click of the mouse away from great deals on almost everything. Visit liquidateaz.com for weekly auctions on everyday household items, antiques from around the world, sports and non-sports cards, memorabilia and autographs, comic books, comic character collectibles, Native American, pots, jewelry, rugs, and sterling silver. Liquidateaz.com weekly auctions is the place for great deals on works of art, gold and silver, coins and U.S. currency, gold and sterling jewelry, vintage LP vinyl records, vintage electronics, ham radio, RC cars, planes, and boats. Interested in antique clocks, watches, and timepieces, or a wide variety of sports equipment, including hunting, fishing lures, poles, and gear. How about military collectibles, medals, uniforms, or helmets? All at liquidateaz.com. Looking to liquidate an estate? Liquidateaz.com can help with estate sales and consignment services. Liquidateaz.com for information.
Hey guys, listen to The Main Event with me, Stephen McCollum, every Monday through Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. on 1580 The Fanatic. Coming up Wednesday, the Coyotes finished a 3-game series with the Wild. We'll look at their position in the West. March Madness is getting closer. Get the Harmon Solar Bracket Challenge filled out, and we'll keep you updated on the news. NFL free agency has a big day Wednesday, as teams have to be under the salary cap by 1 p.m. So join me, Stephen McCollum, on The Main Event, Wednesday, 1 p.m. on 1580, 99.3 FM, The Fanatic.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, buddy, it's Tuesday here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White today because he went to a weatherman convention. I didn't even know they had such a thing. I would assume that Sean McLaughlin and some of your better weathermen will be out at this meteorological convention. Bunch of nerds.
Does it take place exclusively in a hot air balloon, Jeff?
I don't know. We'll have to get the details from Randy when he comes back because it's been 20 years since I've gotten to go to that thing, and I'm sure it's gotten bigger and better. WeatherCon 21. So he'll be back with us, I believe, next week. So, yesterday was supposed to be a day he was with us, but then he was observing National Napping Day. And, I told him it wasn't a paid holiday, but he didn't want to listen. And then I find out he's going to this convention. So, whatever. Maybe we'll hear from him tomorrow or whatever, but he'll definitely be back next week, fresh from his weatherman's convention. I think he just doesn't know how to use the equipment. I think that we got this expensive Doppler radar system up, and he's never been able to figure it out to its full potential. So he's going there to ask somebody to help him. That's what I'm guessing, but we'll let him fill us in when he comes back. 888-368-1580. That is the Summit Mail Medical text line. Filthy Phil's right there in the Harmon Solar Studio in Scottsdale. Keon Rose is back with us again today to hang out and talk sports and just, I don't know. What else do you have to add, Keon? What is your thing, dude? What is it about Keon outside of sports that makes Keon special?
Keon probably watches too many movies. That's probably where
is there
it
such
is.
a thing?
Maybe there isn't such a thing, but that is basically just a never-ending continuance. Movies and TV after all the sports happen.
Something we have just learned about Keon Rose, that given the opportunity, he will continue to talk about himself in the third person. And I appreciate that. 888-368-1580. King of Kitten says, hey guys, what's up? Yeah, meow kittens.
Kitten.
Madison Bumgardner was pitching today on the coldest day of our spring 2 innings pitch, 6 strikeouts. I think that's pretty good. I think I read that right. I don't know. Hefty Lefty says, happy Tuesday, everybody. Is the leader of the fourth dimension back? No, as I just told you, he's at a Weatherman's convention. Boring. Baker's Cocky Hen says, how about them Jaguars? How are they starting to look, huh? I know you didn't win anything in free agency, but they are building a formidable team. Not worried. I'm not worried about the Jaguars. Does anybody give me a reason to worry about the Jaguars? I'm ready. Go ahead. Keon, Phil, why should I be worried about the Jaguars? Why would Baker's Cocky Hens be saying that?
The only reason you should be worried about the Jaguars is if for whatever reason Trevor Lawrence has the single greatest rookie quarterback season we've ever seen. That's the only way.
He's good. I don't think he's that good. And
I don't think he's that good either.
The team's not ready to be that good. Urban Meyer just showing up does not make that team good. What else has happened with the Jaguars? What has happened that I should be quaking in my Colts boots? Okay, I don't wear boots, but still, I should be quaking in my Colts jersey because, those Jaguars. Anyone?
Well, they have a very special running back. Even though he wasn't drafted, he's very, very good. And today they agreed to a wide receiver deal with Marvin Jones Jr. and a trade for defensive tackle from formerly of New Orleans Saints, Malcolm Brown.
Yeah, not enough. Baker's Cocky Hen says, here's why you should worry, because your quarterback is Carson Wentz, man. I don't appreciate that.
There is a point there.
But I'm not that worried about that. I really am not, because the Broncos had Brock Osweiler and half of Peyton Manning. And look what they did. So, yeah, I'm not too worried about things at this moment. Defense wins championships, and the Colts defense is still good and getting better. So nice try, Baker's Cocky Hens. Jagdog says, Keon, quick, top 3 movies of all time.
Top 3 movies of all time. I got to go Goodfellas. Boy, there's going to be a lot of mob movies in all this. I've been on a run lately. The Godfather.
Keon was in the mob.
We just learned that.
And Caddyshack.
I'm surprised it wasn't Casino.
Weird, but yeah. Okay, Phil, top 3 movies of all time. Go.
Titanic.
Oh,
The Godfather.
geez.
Dark Knight.
Oh my God! What the hell with Titanic? What was that all about?
Listen, it's if you want me to be honest, that's what it is. I love the Titanic. It's timeless. The special effects hold up. There's side stories that are for you if you aren't all for the Jack and Rose one, and a lot of people die, more than any mob movie. So if that's what you want,
Kind of like when a lot of people die.
Yeah.
So Phil, here's the thing. Did you see the alternate ending to Titanic, where she's like, "Haha, I still have the necklace," and then everybody hated
Yes,
that.
I have, and it was interesting. I think it kind of takes away from it. So I'm glad they chose the ending they did.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. It takes away from it. I never understood. Why did that old bat throw the diamond overboard? She could have left that to her poor daughter, who doesn't have 2 dimes to rub together. Now she's just like, well, I guess I'm living with Bill Paxton on a boat for the rest of my life because I have no money. Thanks, Grandma Rose.
You know what it is. You know what it is.
It was horrible.
It depends on what your motto in life is, on whether or not you are entitled to every dime you've ever made whenever you while you're living, or if you should leave something behind for your kids, whether or not you should leave behind your fortune for your kids and their kids and yada yada yada, or if you should just go on a spending spree before you kick the can.
Yeah, now we've talked way more about the Titanic than I need to.
You're welcome.
Elabin Mike says, wait, you're the man card commissioner. Randy is the emperor of the fourth dimension? Well, I see that other people will say, here's what happened. Originally, everybody who listens to this show, we called them super fans. And then somebody came up and says, we're like the fourth dimension. And or I was saying that you guys are the fourth co-host, and it came up. And then somebody says, we should call everybody the fourth dimension. And I said, I don't know. I mean, we already call everybody super fans, and there's no reason for another thing. But then Randy was like, no, I like that thing. So then everybody said he's the leader of the fourth dimension because I wasn't too keen on the name. Well, now it is stuck. So Yeah, I don't know what to make of that, but whatever. 888-368-1580. Wicho says, Phil, man card violation for picking Titanic.
Listen, I didn't say it was the best. He said top 3. I think The Godfather is pretty much an unsinnable movie as far as everything goes. I know it doesn't represent in the Oscars, but Titanic does. It's in a 3-way tie with Ben-Hur, Titanic, and I forget the last one. But either way, it's tied for the most Oscars. So at least I'm categorically correct. More so
two
than
craps about an Oscar. As far as I like a movie, I don't care about that.
I'm just
I don't
saying
need that
validates.
validation from somebody else in order for me to say that's my favorite movie. You know what my favorite movie is? The one I say is my favorite movie. I don't care if it's got an Oscar. I don't care if it's got a raspberry. I don't give a damn what you think. I don't care what anybody else thinks.
A raspberry.
That said, I don't know what my favorite movies are. There's a lot of movies I really like, but then you ask me, what's your favorite food? I don't know. What's your favorite anything? I don't know. I like what I like when I like it, but I don't sit around going, that's fun. I like more than anything. I don't know. Something's wrong with me. Something is broke inside me. I don't have favorites of anything, and except for children. I do have a favorite child, but I'll never tell.
They can
tell
tell you're
because
living in the moment. There's nothing wrong with that.
They can tell which one's the favorite child because they get all the presents. Anyway, what was I say? Oh, but the other part of me that's broken is I've never been nervous in my life. On stage in front of 15, 20,000 people doing concerts, and also in my past doing stand-up. Never been nervous. I think something is dead inside me. Doing this show, there's never been one moment I was nervous when the light went on. And I know that's wrong. I should be. Keon, you were probably nervous today, right?
I mean, no, but
shut up, Keon. You're just saying
radio's radio. It's fun. Why am I nervous? Why would I be nervous?
Phil's not nervous. Phil's heavily medicated, so
yeah, I'm too weird to be nervous.
Moiswin's favorite movies are 13 Going on 30, Fever Pitch, and any of the Bridget Jones. I just can't choose. Jagdog says, Phil, put on the cone of shame for comparing Titanic to Godfather. Baker's Cocky Hen says, law-abiding citizen, Office Space, The Notebook. Okay, just kidding. Why Him is pretty great. I just started to rewatch Breaking Bad last night, and it's much funnier the second time around when you watch it.
Much funnier. That's interesting. I've watched it twice now too, and I didn't get funny. I got way more details and way more foreshadowing than I had anticipated in the first go round. It's so good. It's so
Blissful Hayes says, good afternoon, Jeffrey, not Randy, Filthy, Keon. I'm still holding out that the Bears will sign Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson even after they've signed Andy Dalton. Okay, well, here's the thing, Blissful Hayes. None of that is going to happen. And I got to tell you, the Bears doing Bears things, signing Andy Dalton just cracks me up. Oh, my God, that was bad. Circumcised Mosquito says, did you guys see? Yes, I did see. And that is, I think, the big story of the day. This says so many things in so many different directions. Tyrod Taylor has found himself on the Texans roster. That's right. So now you got to think, okay, what does that mean when the Texans pick up Tyrod Taylor on a 1-year deal? Does that mean they are just telling Deshaun Watson, hey, man, we still love you, but if you sit out, we have to have somebody here. Or, oh, well, okay, we're going to trade you, but we got to have somebody here. So which is it? Are they going to trade Deshaun Watson, or is this a thing to kind of poke at him saying, hey, go ahead, sit out, see if we care, but we're not letting you go? What's going on with the Houston Texans?
They're going to try not to trade him, but you do want to get a kind of quarterback, a human being who can throw the football in the event that you have to, so that you're not waiting and all the other teams that need quarterbacks don't desperately sign up quarterbacks, because you got the Washington football team. They need a quarterback. They go Ryan Fitzpatrick. You've got the Bears getting Andy Dalton. So there are teams that are just taking quarterbacks off the market regardless of value. You got to have one of them if Deshaun Watson does in fact bolt.
Although this does not help us decide if they are trading or if they are just bluff calling. There's no way of really knowing that.
Right. Keep in mind that this deal is worth $12.5 million with incentives. Ryan Fitzpatrick's was $10 million and then $12 million with incentives. So it's very interesting whether or not that extra boost, with him now being far and away the most expensive quarterback, especially when we compare it to Dalton, who just signed for $10 million with the Chicago Bears. I wonder if the added incentive, and follow me here, is I think the added incentive is that they actually still do buy that Deshaun Watson's going to be there, because otherwise you have to convince him both on getting there and taking a backup job more than likely. Right. And two, even if he does play, you're still paying extra for being the worst team in the league. Either way, you need to add a little extra sauce to that sugar to make it palatable for him.
Feel like you needed to tell Tyrod Taylor you will be the starter, or he would not sign there, because I don't see Tyrod Taylor being satisfied with being a backup quarterback, because that's what the contract now is. It's got incentives, which means he's not going to make that much more money unless he actually does play, and if he does achieve the things that are required to get to the incentive. So when he went in there and he's looking at his contract, do you really think he's satisfied going, all right, I'll take that money to be a backup, and then, if I get the chance to play, I'll go get those incentives? I don't think so. Tyrod Taylor still sees himself as a viable starting quarterback for any team. Unless I'm wrong and he has just finally given up.
No, I think he himself, of course, has tried to give himself the best starting chance position possible. But keep in mind, what else was out there? Outside of Washington just filled up their void, and Chicago just filled up their void. Who else needs a starting quarterback? Maybe he goes to the New England Patriots. He hasn't tried there, and maybe competes with Cam, but loses probably for the starting job. Maybe he goes to the Denver Broncos, my Denver Broncos as it currently stands, and maybe he competes with Drew Lock for the starting job. Maybe Las Vegas Raiders, they're never seeming to be in full love with Derek Carr. I don't know. It seems like this was the last place where he has a real shot of starting for a team, if not the entire season, for the majority of it, without a stake of injury. So even if he does see himself as signing on for the backup role, I think he could very easily see it as an investment, and it probably married him to his best chance as well as the best money possible right now.
Or his worst chance. Like zero chance if Deshaun Watson plays. You will never see Tyrod on the field again unless the unthinkable happens. And Blissful Hayes is absolutely right. Says Houston was smart signing Tyrod Taylor if Watson sits out next season. Listen, no matter what, actually, if you think about it, this was the first smart thing Houston has done in 2 years. Tell me I'm wrong.
I'll tell you you're wrong.
I can't.
I'll tell you you're wrong for one simple reason. One, if
just
they
to
are
be that way, I know you.
Well, if they're true, if they're being honest with themselves about having Deshaun Watson be their number one starter for the entire year, one way or the other, it's actually a dumb move to put a lot more capital that you don't already have because you're over the cap as it was, putting more capital towards a backup quarterback in that position. It's actually counterintuitive.
Well, the thing is, it's maybe a backup quarterback, maybe not a backup quarterback. So maybe that's not all that stupid. If you can't get Deshaun Watson on the same page with David Culley, then you have a starting quarterback.
But Keon, then you would agree that they're speaking out of both sides of their mouth, right? Because if you even have that inkling, which has nothing to do with what you've said. See, look at that, Jeffrey. It's very hard. It's very hard to talk out of both sides of your mouth. But if they're going out and telling the public, telling their fans, oh, no, absolutely no way, zero chance he plays for any other team other than us this year, then how can you justify, if you truly believe that and are going forward with that momentum, with that persuasion in your mind, how can you justify paying $12.5 million for a backup quarterback?
Just basic reality that David Culley's already met with Deshaun Watson. Meeting did not go well. He walked away convinced that maybe we've got to do something else. And so, you're David Cesario, you've got to make a decision right now in free agency as to what you might end up having to do. It's just an insurance policy at best, and at worst, Tyrod Taylor's your starting quarterback.
888-368-1580. Hefty Lefty says, big movie guy, Keon. This guy is acceptable. Heelman Mike says, I don't know, Jeffrey, you're just stone cold Jeffco. Yeah, I know. I'm actually, something is dead inside me if I'm not nervous. I'm just telling you. I know there's something wrong. Just the Tip says, good afternoon, gentlemen. Keon has made some great choices. After you've been alive for a while, it's almost impossible to name one favorite. I always try to make up a Mount Rushmore of my choices. Like if I was on a desert island, I would choose all the movies Keon chose, plus a video on how to build a raft so I can get off the damn island. That is brilliant thinking by Just the Tip.
That's hilarious.
Witcho says, Dazed and Confused, Good Will Hunting, and The Godfather. Three best.
Keep in mind that the criteria for movies that you would bring with yourself to a desert island vastly differ perhaps from your favorite films, and then of course the best films of all time. Those aren't necessarily all in one the same, because what I want to see over and over and over again could for like the rest of my life on an island could very much change from what my favorite versus what my the best movies of all time in my opinion are.
I don't like to watch anything over and over again. If I see a movie, I don't want to see it again for another couple of years.
Agreed.
At that point, I don't even really care. I don't care what I get to take with me on a desert island. It just, I'll be off doing something else. Good Cat says, hello, gentlemen. Is Randy still raiding the local liquor stores? Well, no, he gets home delivery. What I said earlier was that he is at a Weatherman's convention now, and he should be back next week. Shamoy says 12.5 million is a lot of money for a backup quarterback. I think Watson holds strong. Cesario doesn't trade, and we lose seeing a year of Deshaun Watson's prime.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, that would be the, I guess, the punishment. But you can't do that crap forever, because his next step is to pull a Carson Palmer, retire, and then find himself in another team after that.
The interesting thing is the CBA has been updated since even Le'Veon Bell's holdout, and he might have to play or at least be suited up for like 3 games or whatever the minimum is. So that way he has a year accrued under his contract, because otherwise if he just sits out for the entire year and no years accrued, then they still have him in perpetuity for whatever the contract he signed was, or I believe for like 6 more years, because he still has 1 more year on his rookie deal, and then his new contract takes place the year after that.
So maybe his best move, Deshaun Watson, retire now, let the year go by, come back.
That's exactly what I'm saying. If he retires now, it's kind of like Gronk, why the Patriots were able to trade Gronk even though he retired for a year.
Right.
Yeah, it's because that year never accrues, so his contract stays complacent where it is.
Then you retire, and then you go off, get a little plastic surgery. You change your name, Teron Swanson, except for from Deshaun Watson, and then you come back and you play for another team. I don't know. I don't have all the answers, damn it. I just know that Deshaun doesn't want to play there, and he should. It'd be better for everybody, for the NFL, for us as fans, if you got to go someplace else. Moist One says his favorite 3 actually are Foreskin Gump, How Stella Got Her Tube Packed, and RoboCop. I can't read that. All right, we're taking a break. We'll be back. More of the Daily Blender after this here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Well, I started my own restaurant because I love to cook, but that also means a lot of greasy pots and pans. And we can't waste time with endless sink changeovers. So we upgraded to Dawn Professional Pot and Pan.
Dawn Professional cleans 58% more pots and pans per sink than the leading competitor.
Less dish soap, fewer changeovers, and more time doing what we love.
Dawn Professional. It's clean. Upgraded. From P&G Professional.
Hey, everybody, Mark Asher here. Did the Quarantine 15 get you? Did you add a few extra lbs over the last 2 months? Well, if you did, I have the solution for you. Valley Medical Weight Loss. Their doctors and staff are amazing, and they have a safe and proven way for you to lose a quick 15 to 20 pounds or more if you need. They have 3 convenient locations in the Valley: Glendale on West Bell Road, Tempe on South McClintock, and Phoenix, 24th Street in Indian School. Call 602-441-3305 or go online, valleymedicalweightloss.com.
When running a business, HR issues can kill you. Wrongful termination suits, minimum wage requirements, labor regulations. I'm Alan Jones, founder and CEO of Bambi. I created Bambi specifically for small business. Get a dedicated HR manager, craft HR policy, and maintain compliance for $99 a month. Seriously. Month to month, no hidden fees, cancel anytime.
Go to Bambi.com/Westwood to schedule your free HR audit. That's BAM to the BEE.com/Westwood.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100+ degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harman Solar today. Harman Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harman Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com. Harman Solar is an REC certified solar professional.
Chances are the technology you work with every day is an afterthought until it isn't working. Technical problems can throw a wrench wrench in your day, but computer security issues can expose you and your customers to serious risk. Affinity Technology builds custom IT solutions that help small businesses thrive. No system is too complicated. If it plugs in, we work with it. Affinity Technology runs Arizona businesses. Contact us today at atechaz.com. That's atechaz.com. Affinity Technology.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. We are everywhere you need to be.
Listen on 1580 AM and 99.3 FM for the Phoenix metro area.
If you live in the East Valley, dial up 95.9 FM to listen in. Stream us live everywhere at 1580thefanatic.com.
Or download the 1580 The Fanatic Sports app from the App Store or the Google Play Store.
We are 1580 The Fanatic, your new home for sports.
So they're here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. And if you haven't over to 1580thefanatic.com and clicked on the Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic March Madness bracket contest, the hell are you doing with your life? Huh? Wait, what's wrong with you? Nobody knows how to fill out these damn bracket things correctly. Nobody does, which means you've got a very good chance of winning a $1,000 first prize from Harman Solar. Nobody has a better technique than you or anybody else, so you still have a chance of winning that second place prize of 2 tickets to the 21 ASU home opener football game, courtesy of Pro Copy Office. That's right, you're going to sit in the lap of luxury right there in the Santan Ford box, air conditioned, free food, all that. And then there's other prizes and stuff too. So I don't understand you. I don't get you. I don't understand you. And if you're like, oh, easy, Jeffrey, I just forgot. Well, okay, listen, you're running out of time. Friday is, Friday morning, I think, is the last chance you get. Get it done by Thursday, at least after the first 4. Get that thing in there. You have just as good a chance as anybody. How are your brackets there, Phil? How do you do with brackets? Are you ever any good at that?
You know what? ASU usually takes me out somewhere earlier in the round, but it never really gets me to my Final Four. Usually my
looking for a perfect bracket.
No, of course not. But I think I usually get at least about half of the Final Four right.
All right. How about you, Keon? Are you a bracket whiz or are you just a bracket was?
I am a 50-50 bracket guy. Either my bracket is like 75% correct and I just have a great year, or it's a bust. There's nothing good. Final Four is completely wrong. Elite Eight's almost all wrong. It's we've got bad years and good years.
Have you completed your bracket, either of you guys?
I have.
Yeah, so's mine. It's on there. So
I have.
I may have to go back and change it.
Yeah.
Can we see each other's brackets?
We should.
I don't know. Tell me if you can see my bracket on there. I'm curious because I might go back and do a little tinkering with that. And some of the things I've been seeing out there have given me pause. But since I've been doing the brackets here with the radio station since 2017, I had 1 year where I was like, everybody was like, wow, it was amazing. Like I was some sort of soothsayer, some sort of wizard. And then towards the end, gone. I don't know what the hell happened to my bracket, but that was as good as I ever did. So then with all my other ways of looking at stuff, my different techniques, the weirdities, the oddities, I've tried one where alphabetical order. I've tried one where I used mascots who would win in a fight. I've tried a couple of different techniques. None have ever worked. None have ever worked. But see, that's the thing, man. You can't tell. There's too many teams. So just go in there, do your best, try to win. Prison Wallet says, isn't there $1 billion contest for a perfect bracket? I think I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the Warren Buffett deal. Here's the thing. There's been a lot of rumors. There's been a lot of speculation about what Warren Buffett is actually doing. He is not giving an employee $1 million annually for winning the Berkshire Hathaway bracket group. It's a little bit different than that. Here's what he's doing. So, you fill out the thing. Nobody's going to get a perfect one. You know that. So the Berkshire office pool, what they're doing is, the winner of the bracket competition, again, no $1 million annually. In fact, the prizes have nothing to do with who wins or the company bracket challenge there. Person who goes longest in the round of 64 without losing a game is going to win $100,000. And you don't have to win to earn $1 million. The prize money is increased to $1 million if an employee picks all the first round games correctly, and further up to an annuity paying $1 million for the rest of that employee's life if both first round and second round games are chosen correctly. So it doesn't even need to be a completely perfect to the end bracket. First round and second round can get it done for you there. We are not doing that. We're not going to we don't have the money for that. So,
I've looked.
You're not Warren Buffett?
No. And technically, if a person does pick a perfect bracket through 2 rounds, yes, they could win the $1 million annually and still not come in first in the competition if their bracket falls apart like mine did. I told you, I had a great bracket and then it just fell apart at the end. Well, under these rules, Warren Buffett still would have been giving me money. But so I actually kind of like that, but that's how it goes. For our contest to win the $1,000 from Harman Solar, you got to have just the best bracket. That's it, the best bracket. And there's points and stuff. You can go to our thing and you can see how it's totaled, how many points, which games have the most weight, that sort of thing. So somebody is going to win the $1,000 from Harman Solar. It's another way this is not like Warren Buffett's deal. Somebody is going to win this.
See,
okay?
And there are 46 of us, including you and me. I couldn't find Randy off of a quick scroll here. So it's at least you.
He's on there.
Okay, cool.
I saw him on there.
Wonderful. So you, me, Randy, we're all on here. But the only thing is we can't see it. I'm going to say as of yet, because of course they're not locked in. So maybe they just don't want people to look at other people's brackets.
Okay. All right. Good to know. And you don't want anybody cheating off your paper anyways.
Right.
So again, if you want a chance to win $1,000 from Harman Solar or some tickets in the luxury suite for the ASU home opener, go to 1580thefanatic.com, click on the Harman Solar link right there. And remember, if you need a password for the pool, it's Harman, all lowercase. You shouldn't, but if you do, that's what it is. So good luck with that, everybody. And I'm excited to see what happens next. Good Cat says, no one has a perfect bracket. Is that like saying it's not the size that counts? No, Good Cat. I understand why you go there, having heard that most of your life, but no, that has nothing to do with what we're doing here. So Prison Wallet says, hey, listen, it's okay to be honest with us about what's really going on with Randy. The kids are old enough to hear the truth. By God, Prison Wallet, are you calling me a liar? Are you trying to tell me he's not at a Weatherman convention?
I think he's trying to get you to say Randy's getting the snip.
Oh, you mean he thinks he's getting the vasectomy?
I think so.
Listen, you don't tanker with a extremely accurate rifle like that. He's had more kids than Philip Rivers. You don't mess with that kind of perfection. Boogie says, I got a great technique with my March Madness. Okay.
And no technique listed.
And
that's it. That was his entire text right there.
I think
we're waiting.
Well, maybe it's like once the brackets lock in, he too will give us his method. Maybe that's what it will be.
Blissful Hayes says the Texans GM should call Steve Keim for a meeting, buy a bottle of Jack Daniels. After a few hours of drinking together, the Texans GM could possibly convince Keim of trading DeAndre Hopkins and J.J. Watt for David Johnson if they throw in a case of Jack Daniels. Then Watson might be happy again. All of that is interesting and possibly correct, except for I don't think any of that is going to be enough to make Deshaun Watson happy. It's not that he's lost missing pieces. He's just lost that love and feeling with the Texans, and that ain't coming back anytime soon.
That love and feeling.
Yeah, I regret having said that now. Fed Fan says, I got mine written down. I just have to enter it online. Wow, you did it by hand? That's odd and impressive. Circumcised Mosquito says, somebody's going to win that 30-pack of Bud Light too, right, Jeffrey? Yes, I have been promised that some configuration, the Bud Light is a prize.
By the way, I should note that I forget who it was that still holds out for Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson both to be with the Bears. Adam Schefter did report as of like an hour ago, Chicago made a quote, very aggressive pursuit of Seahawks QB Russell Wilson per sources. And the Bears were told that Seattle is not trading him at this time. The Bears were one of 4 teams Wilson's agent named as a place of interest. Now Chicago has an agreement with Andy Dalton.
Yeah. So they already have an Andy Dalton. They don't need a Russell. Okay, what am I saying? Of course they need a Russell Wilson. Everybody does.
Of course.
Last Optimist says, if Deshaun Watson sits out, I want to know if the Texans sue him for breach of contract to get the signing bonus back. Possibly. I mean, I think that's a fair thing. Razor Sharp says, I miss Randy. Do you think he'll sign his rookie card if I mail it to you guys? You realize that Randy White is not the Randy White, but he'll probably sign it for you. I mean, I don't know if it's going to help you, but he'll sign it.
Yeah, he's not the Randy White. He's just the Randy White.
Mr. Wilbur says, I either need to finish first in the brackets or third, because why in the hell would I ever want to go to a Tempe football game, even if it was inside with unlimited alcohol?
See,
Well,
the
Mr.
unlimited
Wilbur,
alcohol is supposed to help you.
if you win second place, I am sure that we can negotiate to give you the lower prize if you want. Radio Ron says, listen, I already won a 30 pack of Bud Light in the bracket challenge, and I didn't even fill one out. Okay, I guess we're going to buy another 30 pack of Bud Light because Radio Ron is deep into his second. That's what that means. President Wallet says, I have no technique. Were we still talking about brackets, or is that something else?
Yeah, that's.
Fish Tank says, my favorite part of college basketball playoffs starting is baseball is almost here. That's
baseball.
Right. April 1st, opening day. Very excited for that. Boomer Center says, major pineapple, Jeffrey. Is it major enough where I need to change my thing?
No, it just keeps going in and out. If I were to rub my nipples to the extent of your pineapple happening, it's like I rub really hard and then it's like, oh.
I thought we agreed we weren't doing that anymore.
I thought so
agreed.
too.
You agree.
What was the new cue supposed to be?
We didn't come up with one because it was unnecessary.
No, it's necessary. Here's what I want you to do. No. Well, look at me. I'm
looking directly at you.
No more nipple rubbing. Okay. You do this. Just do that. That lets me know. No, not down there. Oh, okay. Forget that. I don't know what to.
It's
Everything
really that
I do.
he
He's just going to do it with his nipples.
Enjoy it is really what the problem is. Like
Listen,
that's
we
where
all
it's all coming.
enjoy doing that. I enjoy doing that, but it's not helping the situation. It's creeping people out.
I think it really helps everybody.
I really don't want you to do that anymore. So
I doubt it.
How about this? Do this.
Okay.
Or like this. No, not by your nipples. Why is everything your nipples? Now it looks like now it looks like you're breastfeeding. How about this? Durka, like they did on not down there. Okay, I give up. You know what? You're moving down on the list of people I like again. I just want you to know that.
It's good, pretty volatile.
Good Cat says the Dolphins have signed Jacoby Brissett.
Oh,
is that true? That's not true.
That is true.
That hasn't come up on my feed yet. Was Jacoby Brissett a free agent?
Yeah, he was. He's reached an agreement on a 1-year deal with the Miami Dolphins, per source with Adam Schefter.
Holy moly! Good for him. Well, the Dolphins need him as. Is this a quarterback competition, or is this?
No, it's Tua insurance. That's what it is.
Well, why would he leave the Colts to be a backup someplace else?
He probably has a better shot of starting there than he does with Wentz. Even though Wentz is more than likely going to be great, he will be given a full year. Tua, they've already shown that they're willing and able to go to any combination of anybody else starting if they think they give him a better shot.
Is it just me, or is that a weird one? That's kind of a weirdest.
No, that one's odd. One. It definitely is odd because Jacoby Brissett is a guy that if he winds up on the right team can be a starter, and a team that is trying to evaluate their first round quarterback, that's not the place.
You mean a team that wants we hope we're get to be 8-8. Does this possibly mean that Tua could be leaving the Dolphins?
No. The only reason or way that happens is if he gets traded to the Texans. That's the only way.
So did he just become clipboard Jesus? Seriously, why would you do that? Yeah, he
is probably top 5.
Has he accepted his role?
He's probably top 5 of the backup quarterbacks out there. There is a role for that, and there's a continued heritage of if you are a top quality backup quarterback, there is a place for you in the NFL. Look at Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's fluctuated between both, and he's made a ton of money being probably the best backup quarterback in the entire league versus probably around the 25th starter, maybe
in a free agency situation. If Jacoby Brissett has agreed to do something like this, he has accepted his role, or something else is going on.
It is a 1 year.
You could read too far into the Jacoby Brissett signing and the Tyrod Taylor signing and say that maybe the Texans have decided to move on, and maybe the Dolphins have something in the way that they're able to move and try and see if they can get Deshaun Watson.
Well, here's our favorite Dolphins fan, Fish Tank, says,
Hey.
Jeffrey, we were 10-6. Are we already throwing shade? Listen, no shade towards the Dolphins. It's just an odd one. If you're all in on Tua, this is a high price. By the way, what's the money deal? Somebody give me the money deal on Jacoby.
We don't
Brissett.
know as of yet. It's still.
It's likely a high-priced backup. Or, I mean, why lose one mentor for another mentor that you have to pay? Probably, I'm going to assume, a good chunk of money. A lot of this doesn't make any sense to me. Fish Tank says, listen, I love Jacoby in Miami. Having a mobile backup looks great behind Tua.
The Dolphins have agreed to 2 terms on a 1-year, $5 million deal with
That's
Jacoby
it?
Brissett. Yeah, that's it.
What the hell?
And that's according to NFL.com. So I think we can
Does
trust
Jacoby Brissett suddenly have low self-esteem?
Honestly, I mean, keep in mind, Jeffrey, he's been his best in a backup role or coming in because the starter is injured role. That's really been his best position as a quarterback, man.
You feel like he gave up. Like he could have gotten more someplace else. We're in the middle of a quarterback drought. There's a lot of teams that could use him as a starter. You know, again, I don't feel him as more than a 500 win. I know there's no such thing anymore because we're going to 17 games in a season, but he's a break-even kind of quarterback as a starter.
I think you're out of your gourd, man. Look at this. Who wants him? Who says like, oh, we would want him as a starter?
There's a team that
Broncos.
signed Andy Dalton as the answer to their quarterback problems. Somebody
Yep.
would have taken
Yep.
Jacoby Brissett.
You think Jacoby Brissett's better than Andy Dalton? I don't think. I'm not ready to say that.
I would say they're about the same.
Wow, I don't even know what to think about this old Jacoby Brissett thing and why he thought it was a good idea. I think he could have hung in for more, but hey, what do I know? 888-368-1580. Good Cat says, as a Wild Kitty fan, I can't even lean on the old saying this year. At least we have basketball. Let's say. 888-368-1580. Got to take a break. When we come back, there's a whole bunch of movement in the NFL. That's right. The free agency frenzy. We haven't even started the real season yet. There are sharks in the water, kids. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Well, I started my own restaurant because I love to cook, but that also means a lot of greasy pots and pans. And we can't waste time with endless sink changeovers. So we upgraded to Dawn Professional Pot and Pan.
Dawn Professional cleans 58% more pots and pans per sink than the leading competitor.
Less dish soap, fewer changeovers, and more time doing what we love.
Dawn Professional. It's clean. Upgraded. From P&G Professional.
Everybody, Mark Asher, back to tell you about my great friends over at Valley Medical Weight Loss. You know, we talked about the quarantine 15, and I think a lot of us thought the quarantine was only going to last a little bit and this pandemic would be over. Well, it continues on, and people are still struggling with their weight. What if I told you you could turn it around in a heartbeat? Call Valley Medical Weight Loss at 602-441-3305. For as little as $31.95 a week, you could get back on track. Call today, 602-441-3305, or go online, valleymedicalweightloss.com.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, we all drop our phones. It happens. You fumble it, crack it, splash it. Well, Straight Talk Wireless now offers this new Platinum Unlimited plan that includes phone protection. Just $65 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Plus 20 gigs of hotspot and 100 gigs of cloud storage and more, all on the best networks. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. See Mobile Protect terms and conditions at Asurion.com/Straight Talk. Limitations and exclusions apply.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100+ degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harman Solar today. Harman Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harman Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com. Harman Solar is an REC certified solar professional.
Pack your bags for an amazing trip. And our resort, a short walk away from shopping and fine dining. No. Let's try this again. Honey, I booked the vacation of our dreams. No. Getaway. Yes. Okay, honey, I booked the getaway of our...
Hey, sweetie, I'm home.
here goes. Hey, hon, I got a surprise for you.
No matter how you say it, your luxury oasis is just a short drive away to Hermosa Beach, California. Relax in one of Hermosa Oasis's beautifully appointed apartment home retreats. Take in our ocean breezes, panoramic sunset views, or stroll along 20 miles of oceanfront strand. All of our beach homes offer fully equipped kitchens, crisp linens, plus beach towels, chairs, and umbrellas, along with cable TVs and wireless internet throughout the home and oceanfront patio. You don't have to wait until summer to bask in the warmth of the California sun. Visit hermosaoasis.com. That's hermosaoasis.com. Save extra with off-season rates. Now anytime is a great time to get away. Visit hermosaoasis.com.
The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. You can call us. You can text us on the Summit Mail Medical text line, 888-368-1580. Message from the little girl here at the house. Phil, you're weird.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So now I've decided no more of the nipple thing. When we have the pineapple, here's what I want to do. I want you to print up a picture of SpongeBob's pineapple under the sea, put it on a stick, and anytime that happens, hold up the stick and show me the pineapple.
But until then, we'll still have to keep nipples up and ready.
I think I'm just going to hook up to my other card so you don't get the opportunity to do that. And also, don't try to get out of this idea because I can print to the printer from here. So nice try, Phil. 888-368-1580. FedFan says, yeah, I'm really glad I listen and I don't watch online. Yeah, well, that's not fair to Keon and I, though. We're good-looking men. We're handsome.
We didn't do anything
fellas.
wrong.
Yeah, we're not rubbing nothing that don't need rubbing. You know what I'm saying? Kyle G says, there's all this movement in the NFL today, but I don't really think anyone's getting any better. It's just reshuffling cards. I don't know if you're correct on nobody getting better. It's funny. People are talking so much about what Bill Belichick is doing with the Patriots. I agree. I feel like that he just threw a bunch of money at mediocrity. Hey, can you look at what Bill Belichick is doing with the New England Patriots and tell me, well, now they're a better team?
Yeah, actually, absolutely.
Based on what?
Based on all their defensive signings, they're going to be getting back a bunch of COVID-related opt-outs. And going forward, I think that Cam Newton, another year in that system, I think he will be doing better. And they possibly could be getting a young rookie quarterback who they'll be grooming, if not taking over the starting job at least some point in the season. I very much think that they will be contending for a division title in this one.
Anytime he says the grooming, I just picture these little meerkats picking stuff off of each other. I just, little prairie dog things you see on the Wild Channel or whatever. Sorry, go ahead, Keon.
That they got Matt Judon. That's going to help the pass rush.
That's a great one.
They get Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith at tight end. Bill Belichick basically pioneered the two tight end offensive system. So we're back to that. And then you get Nelson Aguilar coming off a really good season to be a weapon for Cam Newton. I mean, they definitely did get better.
Yeah, but how many wins better? When you look at that situation, is Bill Belichick really taking care of the problem?
I think so. I mean, we talk about the Patriots like they were, 3-13 last year. They were 7-9 and lost a bunch of really close games. They could potentially flip some of those games the other way just by having more talent. And then maybe they're a 10-6 football team with a chance to go to the playoffs.
I am glad you brought that up, Keon, because here's the thing. There are 4 games you can go back and take a look at and see that, yeah, they could have flipped those games the other way. And who was responsible for losing those games on key plays? Cam Newton.
Was a lot of Cam
4
Newton?
games. No, it wasn't. I'm talking about, I can show you in each game a play where it turned the tide and lost them the game. Now, I'm not saying Cam Newton can't get his act together and suddenly play better. But if you want to be honest, the thing that hurt them the most and made them a 7-win team instead of an 11-win team, Cam Newton.
I'm not saying I disagree with you, but I would say that Bill Belichick obviously thinks that Cam Newton wasn't 100% the problem because they brought him back and gave him weapons.
Yeah. Or here's Belichick's like, I don't really care. I just want to hurt Tom Brady's feelings. I'm going to get all the stuff he always wanted. Just, it's kind of like getting some implants after you've already gotten divorced. It's like, see, yeah, that's what this is.
I mean, that's not necessarily wrong. Tom Brady spent his entire time in New England restructuring his contract. Where did the money go? Because it never went to any players to help him.
That's not okay. That is true at the end, but the rest of the way, you have to admit they won Super Bowls. They did win Super Bowls, so restructuring then it worked out, and he got his money.
Yeah, besides the first 3 Super Bowls seemed to be, even though they were defensive led, they still had a strong and stingy defense.
Yeah.
Even in losses that they had, they were still a very good defensive led team. The next, the 3, because he got the 4th with Tampa Bay, but the next 3 were probably about more 50-50, if not leaning towards Brady. Even in that Eagles loss, of course, he of course helped upend his end of the deal. That loss was on Belichick more so than it was on Tom Brady. But I think that you could counteract that by saying the Rams win in the Super Bowl was more so Belichick than it was Brady. So it goes back and forth. They did have resources around them to help egg them on to a couple more Super Bowl wins than they probably deserved, but it may not have shown up in the offensive department.
Watermelon says, no, the Patriots didn't get better. Newton is the problem. Chamoy says, as a Niners fan, Bourne can drop any more passes when Cam throws it to the ground. Oh, he can't drop any more.
Look.
All right. You're right. You can't drop a pass that didn't get to you.
Hold
Fed
on.
fan says, I wonder how angry Belichick is that Tom won another Super Bowl without him. And everybody's talking about Tom Brady. I don't know. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. But keep in mind, though, again, if you want to go back and make the argument for the Patriots, they had a bunch of guys opt out because of COVID. So that could have played into it some, but I don't think it plays into those 4 games where I could show you 4 plays where Cam Newton did the wrong things.
Look, a couple of those. I think the one most primarily I would look at is that Seattle loss in week 2. It was the 35-30 loss. They came up right short on the goal line on a last-second stand with Cam Newton doing a power option by himself. He didn't convert that, but you know what? They still got 30 freaking points. And they came up 1 yard short. Is that 1 yard short? Yes, it is. But how do you stay in the game? Because of quarterback play. After that, there was a lot of COVID implications that, quite frankly, we still don't know how that affected Cam. If he's a true competitor, he doesn't make excuses, so he doesn't bring it up. But honestly, it was a vast night and day difference from the first 3 games versus what the rest of the season we saw from Cam Newton. If we look at at what their acquisitions are, though, I look at every sort of offensive piece they have. These are not.
Let's look at a piece that the Patriots have picked up. Let's look at this one. They just brought on a guy who drops more passes than AT&T drops calls. Nelson Aguilar, what the hell are you doing, Bill Belichick? Is he fixed? I know last year he didn't drop as much, but he did. Random texter, you're absolutely right. He had a severe case of the dropsies before last year.
Well, he's rehabilitated. Let's say that he will always need to go to AIA meetings, but he's working.
I think you mean AA meetings. AIA is the kids.
Well,
that's the kids.
No, because he needs to work on his
organization.
fundamentals and not.
I see.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. So, but look, the rest of them, 2 premier tight ends, probably the top 2 of this free agency class. That doesn't help with stretching the field. That helps with possession football. That's actually what you want. If he's having troubles throwing the ball deep, that's what you want. You want tight end coverage right there in the middle of the field to move and have safety blankets for your quarterback.
Boomer Sooner says, I hate the Patriots. Cheated on the Rams. Video practice. Stupid Seattle throwings. Falcons meltdown. There's 3 Super Bowls the Patriots shouldn't have won. Wow, you sound like a Colts fan. He says, hey, by the way, remember the name Ronnie Perkins, Oklahoma defensive back. He is climbing the charts, looking good in the draft. Yeah, I've heard about that guy. Bala 51 says, I'm not sad to see Nelson drops. Leaving the Raiders. Oh, okay. So, but see, the thing, he didn't drop a lot of balls with the Raiders. Could it be because he didn't get a lot of targets? What was his percentages on that? I'd be curious.
I know his yards per catch went up with the Raiders, even though.
Okay. Then that's him getting better. Right?
Yeah. He got targeted only 13 more times with the Vegas Raiders. So it's not like he was getting more opportunities. He just played better.
Good. Well, that's good to hear because I like the kid. He drops a lot. I'll never forget that video. This guy who caught a baby who fell out of a window in Philadelphia, and he's being interviewed by the news. And he says, and then I ran over and I caught the baby, unlike Aguilar. he looked right at the camera and said that, and then went on and started talking about the whole story. And you're just like, oh.
And he didn't seem happy. He seemed upset that Nelson Aguilar played for the Eagles.
Right. Well, you would be too. So, anyways, Baker's cocky hen says Jonnu Smith sucks, in my opinion. He can't box out. Shorter guys always come from behind him, break up the pass. Stone hand Smith, they're better, but not good enough. The Patriots. The dog is signing people, Jeffrey. You are correct. Okay, well, he's talking about something I tweeted. There was a picture of Bill Belichick's dog during the draft, and I just sort of, I guess I just mouth not work, words fall out of vocabulary. I'm going to need to be rebooted. I speculated that his dog had put his paw on the enter button of the computer, and they just started buying. So that's what that was. Baker's cocky hands also says Derek Carr is so much better than Cam Newton as a quarterback. Derek Carr can actually throw the ball. By the way, Bears Super Bowl odds went from 40-1 down to 50-1 the minute Andy Dalton signed.
Well, because they thought that they had a chance at Russell Wilson. That's probably was baked in a little bit. They just wanted to have a safety blanket with those odds. But now that it seems that they already have addressed their quarterback issue on the roster, I think that's probably why. When you go to Andy Dalton, it's a big precipitous drop from anything Russell Wilson's even potential upbringing could be.
Word from the street Box of Screws is saying, but I'm going to say word from the street is, he says, no, station did a giant pineapple. It's better now. It only happened when Phil was talking, so it was okay. Lacrosse guy says tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. College lacrosse at 1 p.m. Marquette versus Notre Dame. Irish ACCN Network. Thank you, lacrosse guy. Mr. Wilbur says, what you're saying is if I finish in 4th place in the brackets, I can have a guest appearance or an entry into God's recipe book. What the hell are you talking about?
I think he's talking about Horgon's recipe book.
It's not Horgon's recipe book. It's my recipe book, damn you. Fish Tank says, I think you have some rose-colored glasses on Jacoby Brissett because he was a Colt. You're going to feel that way. Just like I love Fitzpatrick, like one of my own children. I understand. No, Fish Tank. I don't mind Jacoby Brissett leaving. But, as far as he, took the Colts that year, I think he deserves more money as a backup quarterback someplace or at least a chance to start. But yeah, I wouldn't want him. Bala 51 says Cam Newton can't throw the deep ball anymore, so Nelson's not going to help him at all.
Nelson at least stretches the coverage. So that way, when you have all this stuff working underneath, you still have to respect Nelson Aguilar beyond. Remember,
I wonder if they put him in the slot.
Yeah, well, sure. No matter what, he really is a speed option. His biggest depth deficiency was dropped passes. But let's remember his time in the city of brotherly love. He had dropped 24 balls. But when last year he didn't even drop one until week 7 against the Buccaneers, and even then he still had a great stat line. So he has rehabilitated somewhat, and he is a good speed option that defenses will have to honor.
Daylight Drew says, everyone have a safe and healthy St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. Pour me a Schmicks and a shot of Jameson. Smithix? Yeah, what the hell?
Maybe he meant Schmitz.
I don't know. Schmicks. What are you talking about, Daylight Drew? Prison Wallet says, the new cue is when Phil puts a gag ball in his mouth. Oh, don't tempt him. By the way, Prison Wallet says, I think Bill Belichick is collecting baseball cards right now. Yes, that's an analogy. I think he's picking up pieces he knows he can then trade later. That's what my wife said when we were talking. She says, maybe it's trade bait. I was like, none of this is not tradable bait, though, is it? Not really. The entire organization is way too calculating to do dumb things. Random Texter says, I don't know. Patriots lost a key offensive lineman to the Chiefs. Yeah, well, again, this is going to be a weird couple of days. Weird getting weirder, that's for sure. 888-368-1580. So this was not the way I expected this hour to go. I thought we were going to start talking about how the Suns won a game last night. That's what I thought we were going to start with. Suns beating the Grizzlies 122-99. That is as it should be. Booker with 27 points. And again, the other night, kind of a blip. No big deal. You know what we haven't heard about? Because, we care about the Suns and everything. What is going on with the Lakers? Are they winning yet? Are they back to normal yet? Or are they still sort of in Suckville?
Well, they still don't have Anthony Davis, so it really does feel like a mulligan. as we go forward. And
you
they're
got LeBron James on your team, and you're going to be like, well, there's nothing we can do. Seriously?
yeah, we don't have.
You can't jump up and play a little damn hero ball.
Well, we don't
for
have
the Lakers.
Well, you know what we did do is that we won against the Pacers, something the Suns did not do. They beat the Warriors. I believe it was a night ago, if not 2 nights ago.
No, they beat them last night,
Last night,
128-97.
exactly. Yeah,
It was a pretty lopsided. The Warriors are bad though. Like inconsistent at least. When they're bad, they're truly awful.
Yeah, if they hit threes, they're going to be good. They're going to be in contention for anything. But they didn't last night. And look, so the Lakers, they're keeping afloat. They're keeping up in that top 4, and that's all they need to do. That's really all they need to do and want to do, really.
It's pretty sad when one guy is out and it's all gone. Prison Wallet says, Jeffrey, I think your wife is the smartest person in the world. She makes bad relationship choices, but she does know her sports. Believe me, I know. Baby Got Dak says, hi, guys. Jeffrey with Brissett gone. Who's going to back up Wentz when he breaks his toe and limps off the field on game 3? Boy, I don't know. It's definitely not going to be Eason. Eason had a rocket for an arm, but you know, he was like Wild Thing in Major League. You know, he's no control. So Randy White says, hey, it's Randy White says, are you guys going to talk Suns or not? Well, we probably will now in the next hour. And Randy, you know, if you hadn't run off to that Weatherman's convention, you could be talking about Suns right now. But no, you got to be drinking with Iris Hermosillo and hanging out with C. McLaughlin. And I don't even know what the hell's going on. Well, you better get your ass back here as soon as possible. Daylight Drew says Smithwick's typo. Sorry. And I have not even had a drink yet. Phil, get this guy a drink, would you?
He's
did.
Thirsty.
Give him another one. He didn't get it. Literally everything. If it plugs in, they work with it. They've saved us tons of money and they've kept us focused on what really matters. Affinity Technology, they can do the same for you. Go to atechaz.com. Be sure and tell them I sent you.
This is Aaron Warby, owner of Online Trading Academy here in Arizona. Right now, we're seeing stock market highs in the face of economic lows. Election cycles are notorious for causing instability in the stock market. That's why we just finished developing our newest complimentary workshop, Protection from the Election. This 3-hour class will explore the strategies professional traders use to protect themselves against market downturns while allowing them to also profit from surging markets. Take control of your portfolio in these uncertain times. Register for this powerful workshop offered in Scottsdale, Chandler, and Peoria by calling 844-877-2337 or by texting the letters OTA to 31996. Space is limited and all COVID safety measures will be followed. Again, that is 844-877-2337 or text OTA to 31996. 8 Out presents Terrifying Jobs. Snake handler, take one.
This is a really terrifying job. Today we're talking with James Hall, a snake wrangler at the Phoenix Zoo. They handle really creepy, venomous creatures. Given the hazards, why do you do it?
I've been fascinated by reptiles since I was a child.
Tell me about your little friend there.
So this is Bear Hug. He's a Burmese python. We have him here at the Phoenix Zoo.
He kind of makes my skin crawl. Is there anything that rattles you?
Yeah, distracted drivers terrify me.
This message is brought to you by ADOT, the ABA, and this station.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100 plus degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer. And your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment and they're A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com. Harmon Solar is an REC certified solar professional.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start? Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. Randy is off at a weatherman's convention, getting liquored up and pretending to learn about nimbus clouds. We got Phil there in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Keon Rose joining us from, I don't know, somewhere. And you guys are on the Summit Mail Medical Text line, 888-368-1580. That is your number to be a part of the show. And yeah, a lot of stuff is happening with the free agency, NFL free agency. Stunning to me to see Tyrod Taylor end up with the Houston Texans, sending a message, I guess, to Deshaun Watson, or sending a message to the rest of the leagues like, all right, fine, let's trade. I guess we'll find out here very soon. We have a lot of stuff that we need to talk about. We have a lot of things that have nothing to do with NFL free agency. Randy was absolutely right. We did need to be talking about the Suns, and okay. I don't know what you want to say about them right now. They're kicking ass. They're taking names. They're going to play the Timberwolves next on Thursday. Last night was just textbook game for a good team. It was obviously a team they should have beaten without any incident, and they did. So all is well. My thought process is now, if the Suns have righted their ship, they're playing pretty damn good. Now we got to look at I think it's still too early to talk about who's seated where in the playoffs and who you might meet. But let's talk about some of the top teams, though, because, yeah, those are the guys you're going to end up playing. We talked a little bit about what's going on with the Lakers. Phil says his lifelong team, the Lakers, are only kind of sucking a little bit because Anthony Davis is,
defensive player of the year candidate. I think that certainly has something to do with it.
Are we all arguing over stupid things while the Utah Jazz just sort of trudge ahead and become a more solid number one, and they're the guys we really got to worry about? Or is that no big deal?
I think that when you look at the Jazz, I mean, the Jazz kind of play a similar game to the Suns. So maybe you're kind of worried about the Lakers just because Anthony Davis presents a problem that almost nobody else actually presents. But I keep an eye on the Jazz because, I mean, Donovan Mitchell is the real deal, and they seem to have it together going all the way back to last season. They're really continuing to roll.
Okay, so do we need to worry about the Clippers?
Yes,
is the Clippers
absolutely.
a team that really, really need to worry about?
Absolutely, yes, because the Clippers, they are still, for the most part, everything that they were last year. They're only missing a point guard, and with the trade deadline coming up, I actually think that they're going to be able to find one, because really no other team needs it, and they have some slight resources to be able to get that. The only other thing that the Lakers need is a big man. Luckily, there's going to be a surplus of that. So I think both teams stand to benefit greatly from this trade deadline / veteran buyout period that's coming up here. I think both teams are going to get better and still stand tall as the number one jockeying positions in the West at the very least.
Well, the Jazz have 28 wins. Suns, Lakers, Clippers have 26, various degrees of losses, which the Suns have less losses, but also it appears the Suns have played less games. So, yeah, whatever. Percentage-wise, Suns are number two. But then you got the Nuggets, the Blazers, the Spurs, and the Mavericks. That rounds out the top 8 on that. What team below the Clippers give you pause? When you look at the situation, who could actually make a play for this in the later half of the season? Who's playing hot enough to where you think, wow, actually they've got their act together. They're on their way up. Who do you got to look out for that's coming up from behind you?
They're a little bit streaky, but I'm going to go Portland Trailblazers because CJ McCollum isn't even back yet, and they're able to find ways to score points, and they can score a lot. And then you're led by Damian Lillard, and he's continuing to grow as a basketball player. You add CJ McCollum, they're a great team.
I'm going to go with Dallas Mavericks. They probably have the best player that's underneath the Clippers. It's between him and Jokic, really, of the Denver Nuggets. You can go either way, but I think the Dallas Mavericks, now that they're hitting their offensive stride, because really defense was never going to be their forte or how they win games, but now that they're hitting their offensive stride, look out below, because I think that they are going to certainly be a team that just like last year, gave probably the Clippers all that they could handle in the first round, and probably would have won had Kristaps Porzingis still stayed healthy enough for them to close out that series. I think that they are a burgeoning team, a team on the up, and will give somebody a tough out at the very least, probably a 7-game series.
All right, let's take a look at the East. Who's the team at the East right now? Who is the team? Right now, the team in the West is the Jazz, and then the Suns and Lakers and Clippers fighting it out. But who is the team in the East? Because as good as the Nets are, the 76ers are equal to them right now. And again, 76ers aren't a super team, but the Nets are. The hell's going on?
The 76ers.
I'm going to still I'm gonna still go Nets because they are so deep. They do have all the superstar power. I want to trust the 76ers, and I'll just lump a bunch of teams together. I also want to trust the Lakers a little bit more because they've got, Anthony Davis. I want to trust the Mavs a little bit more, but those guys have big guys that can't stay healthy, and they seem to always get hurt. You go into the playoffs and then they're hurt again. So I don't know. And I want to trust Joel Embiid because I think when he's healthy, he's the MVP of the league, but he can't seem to stay healthy. So I'm going to have to go Nets.
Yeah, you hit the key right there. Joel Embiid, of course, out with that hyperextended knee that is now probably going to bring them back to the fold and allow the Brooklyn Nets, especially since Harden cares and everything else, that they're probably going to now lead the East and atop of the standings. We're going silent on the Bucks mostly because been there, done that, don't really care. They're like the Atlanta Falcons of a few years back in the regular season. We just don't care anymore. We know what they can do. They've flexed their prowess. They've done it before. It just doesn't do much for you, but they still will have something to prove. They do have Drew Holiday, which will help them. He seems to be something of an underappreciated MVP, if such a thing was. Of course, Giannis is the number one MVP on that team, but Drew Holiday, he's the straw that stirs the drink for them. He's going to be really important for them, especially with a lot of the guard play that's coming out of the East.
888-368-1580. Fed fan says, wait, what? Embiid got hurt. How bad is his injury?
Going to be out for a couple weeks, but he just hyperextended his knee in a game or two back. I think that last I saw they were taking an MRI. I don't know if they have any updates. I'll look right now.
Fed fan also says Anthony Davis is injury prone. I'm really surprised he stayed healthy last year. So now that he's injured this year, it fits his actual MO. Hela Ben Mike says, Phil, you can't refer the Lakers as we. Your team, you're teamless. I say you're teamless. By the way I see it, the Suns respond very well to a loss. And if that trend continues, it seems that it would bode well for the playoffs. That was the thing about last night with the Suns, and Chris Paul even brought it up. Of course, he got all like dadism on you. Says, you show me a bunch of guys who are okay with losing, and I'll show you a loser. He kind of reminded me of Ben Stiller from Dodgeball at that moment. But outside of, you're right. The team did not take well to that loss, especially a game they should have won the other night. So last night they took it out on those guys, as you should. So yeah, they're back on track. Jagdog sent me. Why? Don't send me videos of the Titanic unless it's going to explode. Oh dear God, what is that? Jagdog, who is that man? What the hell? He sent me a deep fake. Who is that in that picture? That's disgusting. By the way, he says Godfather Casino Training Day. Phil, double down. Crown on the rocks, if you please.
All right, but I also think Django Unchained, the remake right here, is certainly a contender for that. It's a good film.
What do you mean the remake?
Well, the remake. There was an original one that was like a Western. It was called Django something else, but it's based off of what Quentin Tarantino wrote off.
Wait a second. I'm confused. Wasn't the original one Quentin Tarantino's movie?
No. There's
one from like the 50s or 60s?
50s or 60s or something. A regular spaghetti Western.
I had no idea. Randy White says 76ers will not win the East. Doc Rivers is their coach. So you know how that goes. You are correct, sir. And by the way, Randy White says it's Smittix, and I'm having one right now. Yeah. Glad you're not at work, Randy. Fed fan, thank you for that. Baker's Cocky Hen says LeBron doesn't mind losing. Hasn't he lost more finals than he's won? Can't say that about a GOAT like Jordan or Brady. I don't think that's true, that LeBron doesn't mind losing. I think he doesn't mind losing games during the year. He's a playoff guy. That's all that matters to him. Fish Tank says, is Chris Paul the next John Madden? Oh, you see, a team that loses more times they win will be below 500. Yeah, that's something like that. That's Phil in the Titanic as Rose. That's not his actual face. That's not Phil's face. Whose face is that?
Maybe it's his.
Did you just deep fake the wrong face on there? It is a dude's face, but Phil doesn't wear glasses. Razor Sharp. Oh, look at that. I was wrong. I thought you were talking about Randy White, the old Dallas player. He actually wants an autograph on the Dallas Mavericks, Randy White, from back in the 90s.
Wow.
Randy will sign anything.
He'll sign any and everything except for a Speedo for some reason. I don't know why.
Ooh, good list, Circumcised Mosquito. His 3 movies, he says Tombstone, Goodfellas, Young Guns.
Oh, that's
not
good.
bad.
Never saw Young
That's
Guns.
good.
You haven't seen Young Guns 1 and 2?
I haven't seen 1, 2, 3, or 0.
You got to see those. Those are good. Those are fun.
You have seen 0.
I have not seen 0.
Kiss the Cook says happy
Saw it,
Tuesday. Taco Tuesday, actually. Happy Taco Tuesday. Busy making chili lime fajitas. Favorite movie for me, Godfather, Star Wars, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Honorable mention goes to Less Than Zero. Oh, Robert Downey Jr. and David Spader. James Spader. Wait, which one is it? James Spader? Not
David Spade, isn't
James?
James Spader, I think.
Oh,
James
And
Spader, yeah.
he says at close range, and we are 4D. All right. 888-368-1580 on your Taco Tuesday. Hamilton Porter says, how about nobody's even brought up Rounders yet? Rounders is a good movie you forget about. You know what I mean? You see it and you're like, oh yeah, that movie. And then that's it. You just, I don't know. Doesn't belong on anybody's list, I guess. So speaking of lists, make sure you guys get over to 1580thefanatic.com. Click on the Harmon Solar 1580 Fanatic March Madness bracket. You click on the Harmon Solar picture right there. It'll take you to CBS Sports, where you register in with CBS Sports. Use your own password of your choosing for your account. And then somewhere down the line, if they ask you for a pool password, it's Harmon, lowercase, Harmon. And you can win $1,000 if you get first place from Harmon Solar. You can win a couple of tickets to the 21 ASU home opener football game, courtesy of Pro Copy Office. If you get the second place there, you'll sit in the Santan Ford Club luxuriously air-conditioned suite. You get free food. That's a nice deal. And other things too. So 1580thefanatic.com. Get in there, fill out that bracket. Now, I'm very happy that we are your home for NCAA March Madness.
Yeah.
Because, we love hearing the games. Westwood One is great on the call. We were really thrilled. GCU is in March Madness for the first time ever. That's a lot of fun. We'll have that broadcast for you guys on Saturday at 3 p.m. I'm just glad we don't have to worry about what we say or do. What I mean by that is the NCAA is very strict. You can't advertise, and you can't say, how they say the whole thing with the Super Bowl. Yeah, a lot of people are advertising stuff to come join our Super Bowl party. You have to call it the big game or the big tournament for the NCAA. Yeah. You have to come up with different versions. Synonyms. Right. Well, the NCAA ain't screwing around. But I don't know if it's fair with this case here.
Is it you can't say the big dance? Is that what it is?
No, in Virginia, a urologist is got a trademark complaint from NCAA for having vasectomy mayhem.
Oh my gosh.
March Madness, vasectomy mayhem. Now, at first, you see that and you're like, well, that's ridiculous. But then you go and you look at their advertising, and now they start to have a little more of a case. I guess their use of vasectomy mayhem, according to the NCAA, will result in confusion, mistake, or deception with petitioner. Okay, what they're saying is that's too close. Well, that's not too close, but in their advertising, they're saying that they're having vasectomy mayhem, and if you time it right, if you get the snip at the right time, the day before the tournament starts, you need 3 days of rest after you get the snip, right? So then you just get comfortable, lie there, watch March Madness. Now you've got a perfectly good excuse. And so now you got your vasectomy and you get to hang out and do nothing but watch the March Madness. Evidently, the NCAA was not happy with this.
I guess what they're saying is your advertising is piggybacking off of our advertising, and we don't like that very much.
It's just the people having some fun, being a little bit cheeky with the whole advertising thing. Call now to align your couch time with Optimal Tube Time. It's the best. I don't know. I think it might just be a little bit picky, but here's the thing. They are making money off of this. They are alluding to, so I don't know. I don't know that that's really a fair case against these guys for vasectomy mayhem, but Whatever. So that just shows you why I'm happy. We don't have to worry about that because we're your home for NCAA March Madness, and nobody else is in there here in Phoenix. So there. That's what I say.
Very, very poignant. Very.
I like to end these things just with a lot of maturity.
Oh yeah, yes.
Nanny, nanny, boo boo. Your pants are full of poo poo.
Yes.
See, this is the adulthood that people tune in for. This is it.
Yeah. This is as grown up as I get. Mile High Guy says, my 3 movies are Jaws, Shawshank Redemption, and Braveheart.
Oh, Shawshank Redemption is very good.
Nobody can turn that off. I don't care how many times you've seen that. If you turn on the TV, it's on. It's like, well, that's what we're watching.
And Dufresne.
Fed Fan says, a few good men and as good as it gets. Don't, Phil. Don't try to do a Morgan Freeman voice. You can't do it.
And
just don't.
Waited.
That's just you, Phil.
3 football fields.
Only Frank Caliendo can do this.
You were doing your deep guy voice yesterday. That's the same voice. You're doing the same
thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You need to stop. Biscuits and Gravy says, I guess as reigning champion, I'll bring the belt to the contest. All right. The hell is he talking about?
Did he win the bracket challenge last? Well, no, he couldn't.
Did you?
Well, did he win it 2 years ago? Because last year he couldn't have.
Biscuits and Gravy, did you win in the past? So don't take it personally. It's just, I don't remember much past a week ago. Jagdog says the Suns are plus 3,000 to win the championship. That's a good value bet right there. So what does that mean in betting terms, Phil?
You always put it down two digits because it's 100 to win whatever it is.
So it's 30 to 1.
No.
I don't know. You said 2 digits.
Yes. So it's 30 to 1.
So if I give you $1, I get 30 if they win the championship.
Correct.
I want to give you $1, please.
No.
Keon, do you want to be a bookie for me? I'll give you $1.
I might just keep the dollar. I don't know.
Oh, but I want the $30 back if I win. You guys don't know how to do this.
I don't know how to be a bookie. I'd be a terrible bookie.
All right, I'll figure this out myself. I don't need your help. Mr. Wilbur says Forrest Gump, Shawshank, and The Green Mile. So basically,
Stephen King books.
2 out of 3 with Tom Hanks. Okay. Heelman Mike says, will the tourney be streamed on the app? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. We had to pay extra for that. Yes, it will. Prison Wallet says Forrest Gump, the good, the bad, the ugly, and Goodfellas. It's a lot of goods in your movie titles there, Prison Wallet. It's kind of a weird mix, but I like it. SOL says Raiders, Aliens, Empire Strikes Back. Oh, he means Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay.
Not the Las Vegas Raiders.
I was like, the Raiders. What Raiders film has
that wasn't a great movie last year. So I was very confused.
Fish Tank says, since my first name is in fact Patrick, do I get free drinks tomorrow? Yes, you do. Absolutely. You absolutely should. Why not? Tell the bartender you talk to I said so. Good luck with that. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, Lopes fans, GCU is dancing for the first time in school history, taking on the Iowa Hawkeyes in round 1 of the 2021 NCAA National Championship Tournament this Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. This is Michael Potter, the voice of the Lopes, inviting you to join me and Lopes insider Paul Coro for this historic occasion. The Lopes and the Hawkeyes, live from Indianapolis and the National Championship Tournament this Saturday at 3 p.m. right here on 1580 The Fanatic. You won't want to miss a moment of the action. Go Lopes.
Hi, this is Bruce Jacobs from my friends and former employers at ProCopy. For over 20 years, ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available from companies like Ricoh. More importantly, they provide outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. 3 years ago, they joined the Flex Technologies Group, an Arizona-based nationwide group of companies that share ProCopy's commitment to excellence. So if you have branches anywhere in the United States or just here in Arizona, you can get great personalized service even during the current climate. We use them here at the Fanatic and Money Radio KFNN, and they never disappoint because they remain a local company. They give back to our community by supporting ASU and the Thunderbirds through the Phoenix Open. The ProCopy Foundations has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. That makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Just give them a call at 602-PROCOPY. That's 602-776-2679.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. Are you seeing what is going on in the home buying market right now? Unbelievable. Not enough inventory, and there is a ton of demand. Some of these homes are getting 30, 40, 50 offers on them. How are you going to stand out? How are you going to differentiate yourself from the other buyers who are in line? I have a way. Use the Lund Mortgage Team. Lund Mortgage Team is locally owned and operated with over 20 years of experience right here in the Valley. They have a great reputation, and it is a trustworthy pre-approval. And on top of that, they are quick. That's one of the things. You got to come equipped and be ready to buy. So what you need to do is make that first phone call to 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940. Get that pre-approval going, and then get yourself ready to go buy that home of your dreams. Go online, lundmortgageteam.com, or call 623-875-9940.
The Suns are entering the second half of the NBA season.
Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay with us as the Suns get set to shine.
How will they fare down the stretch? Do they have what it takes to win the playoffs? If it's sports, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Arizona's new home for sports.
Today with Wonder here on 1580, The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. You can hear us on 99.3 FM, 95.9 FM in the East Valley, always at 1580thefanatic.com. Coming up tomorrow night, high school basketball girls semifinal game, Millennium versus Verrado. Then on Thursday, it's Gilbert at Centennial. It's a boys semifinal. Both games 7 p.m. right here on 1580 The Fanatic. And, of course, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we got nothing but March Madness on this radio station. Now, of course, you get the morning show on from 6 to 9 a.m. They're going to be there. They're just going to cut away 1 hour early to start the day off. But we'll be back next Tuesday.
I can hear the utter jubilation and happiness inside of your statement.
So last year, COVID crushed my dreams, and I'm really hoping that doesn't happen again this year. And I think that the procedure's been figured out. It shouldn't happen again this year. But then I get this news story. I get a little bit nervous. 6 referees that were supposed to be at the 21 NCAA tournament, the March Madness there, they were removed because of COVID. COVID protocols, at least. Doesn't mean they have it. They just means that they might have been exposed, might have been in a situation. But 6 of the most high-profile NCAA tournament officials have been removed from March Madness after a positive COVID test and contact tracing. So I guess, a lot of these guys, you would recognize them. They have been at so many different games and so many these are the best guys. So that is a concerning thing, but it also shows you that, precautions are working. So when somebody is pulled out, that means it's working. That means we should be able to go forward with everybody else. Some of the teams who have pulled themselves out of the tournament because of one COVID test. By the way, did Duke decide they are going to be in the tournament now, or are they out of the tournament? I was confused by that because I had heard that said we're completely out of everything. And then it came back that they might be in. Were they even seated? What's the situation with Duke? I guess Phil's looking at it.
I'm looking.
I saw that they turned down the NIT invitation.
So they went ahead and said, "We're just done."
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. Because they're still pairing together Duke and Kentucky, missing, and that was just as of 3 hours ago. So they're out.
All right. So I mean, you can speculate what you want about how the teams have decided to do this, but hopefully this is just a good sign that the procedures are working. 888-368-1580. King of Kitten says, hey, tell everybody in the Scottsdale Air Park area, get out of the way on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard. I'm going for tacos. All right. Anybody who's on which direction? Well, it doesn't matter. If you're on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard right now, pull off the road. Pull off the road into a parking lot or just get over to the side because King of Kittens is ready to go get him some tacos. Where are you getting tacos, King of Kittens? So if you're on Frank Lloyd Wright, just get off the damn road. King of Kittens needs his tacos. Get out of his way. You're doing the right thing. He says, by the way, St. Patty's Day, I'm going to have myself a pint of Harp Lager. Pint of Harp Lager for that guy right there. 888-368-1580. Don't drink it till you're not driving, though, buddy. Chief Skull's burner phone says, we're all those refugee. I'm sorry. He didn't say that. My eyes saw that. Refugees. Were all those referees related to Angel Hernandez? The Major League. No, actually, these were good officials. These are like the best officials. Nowhere near like Angel Hernandez. First Cav Mike says, best movie to watch on St. Patrick's Day? Boondock Saints. Oh, that's a good one. The second one wasn't too bad, but I think the first one was great. Hamilton Porter says, if they were Big Ten refs, no loss. By the way, Goodfellas, Alien, and Halloween. Mr. Wilbur says, how about Bobby Hurley going to DePaul? Bye-bye, Bobby. Take your sideline antics with you. What? Did he leave ASU and I didn't see the story? That seems like a big deal. Or is he just saying that?
It's looking like he's just saying that.
Okay. Sometimes you guys you mess with my head.
Yeah, I think he's just saying that.
Somebody better make sure, though. That's a big deal. If it's true, shut up, Mr. Wilbur. Oh, that's Mr. Wilbur. He's a U Arizona fan. You and sweaty, dirty Sean Miller. Thundar the Sam Barbarian says, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, Blade Runner, Unforgiven, or any Clint Eastwood movie. I really didn't mean to be this the day we all say our favorite three movies. I really didn't. Fish Tank says, I may have missed this part of the show, but does anyone think GCU has a shot in hell in round one? I'll be rooting for them, but expectations are low. Well, I brought up the information on this, and it is, tell you what, it's what they call it an upset. And this team has heart. This team does have talent. As far as field goal percentage, they're unmatched in the NCAA, but this is a good Iowa team. All right. I am an Arizona boy. Phil, Arizona kid. Keon, no dog in the race. So from the outside looking in, then you look at number 2 Iowa and you see Grand Canyon University, who just went through and cleaned up and won the WAC tournament. Is there a chance, Keon? Is there a chance? Because nobody's really giving them much of one.
There is a chance. It's a very small chance. I'm not going to, you got to be realistic about it, but they do shoot the basketball well. You just mentioned the field goal percentage, and they're also big inside too, which helps because Luka Garza is the guy that you're going to have to contend with against Iowa. He's the guy that he's the NCAA player of the year. He's that good of a player. But if you have Luka Garza have a bad game, you take him out of the basketball game, you do give yourself a puncher's chance.
Well, and GCU also comes at him with the center as well. And Midgard, he gets the rebounds for GCU. He's also a pretty high scorer, not at the level of Garza, but he's getting his job done right there. Let's see. In the betting terms, help me out here because I know I should know this after all those years of Eric Cohen, but so with the GCU. What I'm seeing here is the spread is 14.5.
Yeah. So if you think that GCU is going to make it a close game, or you think that they'll win straight up, then you, of course, would take GCU in there. But if you think Iowa is going to win and win handedly by 15 points or more, then you would take Iowa minus the 14.5.
Okay. So the money line is plus 900. Or negative 1,700.
Yeah. So essentially what it is it teases the line. So we just said 14.5. So that's the official, how much better we think they are. So if you think straight up on the money line on just straight up GCU will win, so you don't get any points whatsoever, but GCU has to win. You get 9-1 odds. If you want to do the same for Iowa, now we're into the negatives where I forget what you just said, but yeah.
$17 will get you 1 if you bet Iowa.
Correct.
$1 could get you 9 if you bet GCU.
Absolutely.
Does it feel wrong to bet on a Christian university though?
A little bit.
Just
Like it
it's
is
kinda
just a
weird.
little bit.
Like St. Bonaventure is like, we don't care. 888-368-1580. And yeah, Garza gonna dine on some venison, says Large Marge. Go Hawkeyes. No offense to GCU, but I'm from Iowa, he says. Fair enough, Large Marge. King of Kittens says some joker in Chicago wrote a story that Bobby Hurley might be interested in DePaul. It's all bogus. Mr. Pink Eye says, so who's going to do Boomer Sooner? Who's going to do the weather report? Who's pouring drinks? Who's going to defend Kyle Murray? Well, it's Kyler Murray, so I guess I'll defend him on that. Phil is pouring drinks. Pour something for Mr. Pink Eye. I think he's got some anxiety there with Randy not being in. No need for a weather report. Randy will take care of it when he comes back. He's at a weatherman's convention, and I'll do Boomer Sooner. I've done it before. I can do it again.
Oh, God.
No, I've done it well before, but I've also done it badly before. I will do my best to channel my inner Randy if it becomes necessary. Baker's Cocky Hen says, well, hold on. Iowa defense sucks. They're like LeBron, regular season defense.
Oh, stop it. Oh, stop it. He's top 5 in defensive player shares or whatever the heck that stat is.
I like your thinking, Baker's Cocky Hens. Nondescript says, I like Seven Samurai and Apocalypse Now. So I guess those are 2 movies so good, you don't need a third. Easy Money says Godfathers. I guess he likes Godfather's Pizza. We were actually asking him about movies. Large Mark says, oh, I've already read that one. Boomer Sooner says, all right, 3 best movies. The Patio.
What?
The Patio.
I've never even heard of that.
The Sting.
Okay, I've heard of that one.
Shawano? What the hell is Shawano?
That's probably a manga anime.
Shawano. And he says any of the Bourne movies. All right, well, you get Bourne movie 1, 2, and 3 because I don't understand what the other stuff is. I get the Sting. That was pretty good.
It was.
Let's see. Helabin Mike says Tombstone, Goodfellas, and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Just the Tip says, according to multiple reputable sources, Bobby Hurley is the front runner for DePaul position, which turns out to be some sites having fun with where Bobby was going to go years ago and got skunked. So yeah, I just want to be the first, not right. Oh, okay. Thanks for that. Ken Kenton says the Grand Canyon Antelopes ladies basketball team lost the championship game of the WAC tournament. Had they won, they would have qualified for the NCAA's. Team they lost to, Cal Baptist in Riverside, went undefeated in the season in the conference tournament, but they weren't eligible for NCAA's because they're a new D1 school. Wow, that's a shame.
That sucks.
No, that we had to talk about women's basketball. Wow, that is a shame. Beer Bob says, I like that somebody asked to have a Harp Lager poured for them, and Phil pours a shot of something. Who put the kid in control of the bar? Well, Randy's not here. You get what you get. Yeah, he didn't ask for a shot. He asked for a damn beer there, Phil.
Oh, but it didn't seem like you could open up just a can of it. So that's why I was at a bad decision.
So now Boomer Sooner is saying the Patriot, Shawano. My typo. Sorry. What the hell is Shawano? Do I need to look this up? Somebody look this up. Shawano.
How does one spell it?
Shaw, S-H-A-W, Ano. Chief Skull's burner phone says 3 best movies for me: Tombstone, Heat, and I Am Legend. That's not bad. And he was saving that bacon for later. Fish Tank says, speaking of LeBron, did you hear he's about to be part owner of the Red Sox? I think LA is a little upset that he's maybe taking a team in Boston. LeBron is international. He does what he wants and nobody cares.
I don't see a Shawano anywhere. I find some movie
Oh,
theaters.
Boomer Sooner says, no, damn it, typo. It was Shawshank. I meant to say Shawshank.
Oh my gosh.
Well, your voice to text is horrible.
Yeah, Shawano is a place in Wisconsin.
Huh. Rob Diz says, hey everybody, I'm so my 3 favorite movies. You are so you're so Raven. What is that? I don't even know what that means. He says, here's mine. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Gladiator, and 300. So you like Gladiator movies, hey, Rob? Navy Devil says, if the NCAA uses Pac-12 referees, how many horrible calls do you think there will be? All of them, Navy Devil. You know better than that. So, yeah, I'm a little nervous about COVID and the tournament with those referees, but here's hoping for the best. A little worried about GCU. But, again, let's just go back and remember something. if nobody expects you to do well, if nobody expects you to do anything, you show up, you fight your heart out, and even keep it close, and you go home heroes. Yeah, win the game. Holy cow! So yeah, all the pressure, if you ask me, is on Iowa, and all the fun is for Grand Canyon. By the way, did you see that photographer getting strangled by a security guy the other day?
No, I didn't see this at all.
All right, the A10 championship, the Atlantic 10. The team wins, right? It's yay, we won St. Bonaventure, and oh yeah, we won. So the players are celebrating. This guy with a camera comes running out on the court, and he's trying to film the celebration. Security guy just comes up and starts hassling him, and he's like, "No, wait, I'm with the team." And he's like, he does a pretty impressive spin move, gets away from the security guard. Security guard thinks, well, this guy is just trying to storm the court. He's just some dude. And to be fair, he does just kind of look like some dude. He's not wearing any official college stuff. It's like a brown sweater and some khakis, but he's got what looks like a pretty professional camera right there. And he's at least wearing a mask, and he's got credentials around his neck. But look at that security guy. It almost looks like he's got a arm around going, hey, what are you doing later? But no, he's actually struggling, and you got him in a chokehold. And so, of course, you can also see in the background the players going, hey, what's going on there? Why is he doing to that guy? That's our guy. So I guess the guy thought he was storming the court, and I guess didn't check his credentials or just didn't believe him, and they hassled him until they straightened this out later. But yeah,
choke first, ask questions later, I guess. Wow.
I'm on the security guy side. Because this does not look like an official guy. This doesn't look like somebody who's there to work. He just kind of looks like a regular dude.
The camera doesn't tip you off. That's a pretty big camera.
Yeah, the camera is very professional camera, but he's not looking at that. He just sees this brownish blob of khakis and brown sweater running out onto the court. And, they've kept very strict rules in the NCAA about that sort of thing. So I think he did the right thing. Once they realized that, okay, he's for real, he's legit, they let him go back out. So, no harm, no foul. Chokehold, maybe not necessary.
Yeah, slight bruising.
But all's well that ends well.
To me. I don't know. That's definitely.
Is that a flagrant? Is that what that is?
Oh, yeah, that's attack. That's attack.
Did you see that guy from Tennessee get knocked the hell out? By the way,
John
okay?
Fulkerson.
Yeah, the incredible Folk. He got pow, and then as he was turning to run down the court, pow, another elbow right back to his face. Is he going to be okay? Is he? I mean, they're in the tournament, right?
They are in the tournament. It does look like he's going to be okay. I don't think he's been cleared to play yet.
He had surgery for facial injury.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And I don't know if they're going to get him one of those masks, one of the clear ones that you can play in once you've injured your face.
Did he fracture like an orbital bone or something?
But yeah, he had surgery. He had to go to the hospital.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I just thought he got his bell rung. Yeah, I thought it was bad. I thought maybe he had a concussion. I didn't realize he needed surgery. Wow. So,
yeah, he took an entire procedure to get some facial reconstruction. Yeah, he had to address
team.
Yeah, he had to address a facial fracture. My goodness.
All right. Well, I guess if he does come back, and I'd say I doubt it, but if he does, he'll be wearing one of them funky masks, one of them Bill Laimbeer numbers. Wow, that's a shame. I was watching that, and at first I was mad because they showed him sitting there kind of crying, like he was getting all sentimental. And I'm like, come on, man up, you big baby. Because he was sitting over there just realizing this is the last season and I'm going to miss these guys. And they're like, this is what college sports is all about. Look at the emotion. And then I think I went off and did something. I came back to the TV, and then I saw that play, and there he is lying on the ground. I'm like, oh boy, that now you got a reason to cry. That was the universe saying, I'll give you something to cry about, kid. That was horrible. I hope the kid is okay. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, let's talk some more NCAA. We're going to get back to the free agency feeding frenzy that's going on in the NFL right now. More of the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Felicia.
We're the hosts of the show, Drive Friendly.
With Steve's 40 years of experience, you're going to get the real insider information about the automotive industry. And I'll be interviewing local celebrities and experts so you can be informed and live your very best life.
Laugh and learn with Steve, Felicia, and the gang. You'll be smarter for listening. Drive Friendly, 10 a.m. Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
500 apiece, you're going to that fine for 500, 500, 200 apiece, 1 minute, about 4.5, about 150.
The best weekly auction is right here in Arizona. It's only a click of the mouse away from great deals on almost everything. Visit liquidateaz.com for weekly auctions on everyday household items, antiques from around the world, sports and non-sports cards, memorabilia and autographs, comic books, comic character collectibles, Native American, pots, jewelry, rugs, and sterling silver. Liquidateaz.com weekly auctions is the place for great deals on works of art, gold and silver, coins and U.S. currency, gold and sterling jewelry, vintage LP vinyl records, vintage electronics, ham radio, RC cars, planes, and boats. Interested in antique clocks, watches, and timepieces, or a wide variety of sports equipment, including hunting, fishing lures, poles, and gear. How about military collectibles, medals, uniforms, or helmets? All at liquidateaz.com. Looking to liquidate an estate? Liquidateaz.com can help with estate sales and consignment services. Liquidateaz.com for information.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. Now, we've seen interest rates go as low as we've seen them in years recently. We've also seen them bouncing around. A lot of uncertainty of what is going on in the loan game as far as mortgages are concerned. That's why I lean on my friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. They have been in business for 20 plus years here in the Valley. They only lend in Arizona. They are trusted. They'll get you that reliable quote. And if you're thinking about refinancing, whether it's to just lower your rate, maybe lower the terms of your rate, maybe down to 15 or 20 years, or if you're like, hey, we got a lot of debt on the side, we got some problems going on, we want to consolidate debt, or I've always wanted a pool. Now's the time to do it. Take some of that equity out, refinance, and get things done around your house that you want. But you got to use the best in the business. That's the Lund Mortgage Team. 623-875-9940, 623-875-9940, or check them out online, lundmortgage.com.
The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. And, of course, over there at the Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic Bracket Challenge, I already have the Fighting Illini, Illinois, whatever, as the team. As you can see right there, I printed up my my bracket. I got them as the team to win. I think I got to go back and go through that all again because there's certain things that we have learned over the last few days that do make a difference on this. Because I was looking at stuff like, strength of schedule. I was looking at points for and against and trying to get a little bit of a snapshot of, who had a tougher time getting there. A lot of times will be, be the ones that could win. And a lot of times the people who have the easiest ride, they're going to go down like a sack of potatoes. So as I look at all this, and now that we're talking about this poor kid, the Falkenhammer, whatever his name is, from Tennessee, that's got to change a little bit. If he's not going to play, wouldn't you say that is a major factor in their success getting there?
Absolutely.
Yes. John Fulkerson and he's been inconsistent all year. And you can see that when he's able to play well, Tennessee plays better. When he's being physical, aggressive, going to the basket, they can play better. Their guards can attack the basket much more easily because Tennessee's not much of a shooting team. They just really can't shoot the basketball. They really need that help down low.
Well, there in the Midwest, they are seeded as a number 5. And I had them going to the Sweet 16, but being beat by the Fighting Illini. But now I may have to just give this to Oregon State. So I got to go take another look at that at this point. So these are the things that happen. So go set up your bracket, but it's okay. Before the game start on Friday morning, you still have a chance to go back and make some changes. And what happens with the first 4 may play into that as well. So
who did you say you've got in the championship game? You've got Gonzaga and Illini?
Gonzaga and Illini.
See, I've got Gonzaga against Ohio State.
You know what? There was earlier versions of my bracket where I was thinking Ohio State too, but I just can't bring myself to do it because I hate when people say the Ohio State. They are almost as annoying. Wait, what the hell are you doing there?
That's
Keon?
that's the Ohio State. Is that not it?
Did you go there? Did you go
No.
there? Then why are you throwing up
Because
signs
we were
like
just
you went
talking
there?
about it. They did.
Oh,
Didn't they
man,
try to copyright the word "the"?
Yes,
yeah, they
they lost the lawsuit, jerks. I just listen. I know there's a lot of people who listen who like the Ohio State, but I'll never say the. I won't do it. I won't do it. Nothing against you people. And by you people, I mean you people who are fans of Ohio State. The is pretentious. And no, that's it. That's the only reason I'm bothered by that.
Yeah, they're not even the only university or institution that has that. Look at the U. The U has it as well. And I think you could make an argument that they had it before, way before the Ohio State. So whatever.
Well, they can kiss the biggest part of my ass. I ain't saying it that way ever. Anyway, 888-368-1580. Yeah, a lot of people, I think I need to change the subject because I really was just asking Keon what his favorite movies were. Now everybody, this is name your 3 favorite movies again. But that's cool. Kiss the Cook says, hey, who's this new guy? Get out now before Amityville haunt you. Fill in, please. 2 fingers of Jack Daniels fire. I think Kiss the Cook might be drunk already.
Yeah, he already has 2 fingers here, but we'll get you 2 more.
Why would you Amityville haunt Keon Rose?
Was he warning me or was he haunting me? Was he trying to curse me or was he saying it's cursed here? Run. I didn't understand the message.
I'm not sure, but Keon is hanging out with us because Randy White is off at his Weatherman's convention and all that stuff. So he's not necessarily the new guy, but he is a new guy to you guys. He's just a good friend. He's hanging out and having fun, doing a good job too. 888-368-1580. Rob Diz says, damn it, voice text strikes again. I don't know what you're talking about there. It's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Gladiator and 300. We get that. Purple Nurple says my favorite movies are Beetlejuice, Johnny Dangerously, and Empire Strikes Back. Oh my God, yes, Johnny Dangerously, one of the best movies ever. Michael Keaton's finest work. If you've not seen it, it is a funny movie. I actually own that on DVD, believe it or not. Johnny Dangerously. Yeah, Farragon Bastages, you iceholes. It's like, wow, the mouth on that guy. He was a foreigner guy. He couldn't swear in the right languages. So, oh yeah, that's some good stuff there. Mr. Wilbur says, how about glad he, ooh.
Can you not complete that text?
No, but your other one was one of my favorites. Yes. Always a big fan of Saving Ryan's Privates. Baby Got Dak says, my 3 best movies are Full Metal Jacket, Carlito's Way, and Clear and Present Danger. Not bad. Beer Bob says, so with the New England Patriots throwing out free agent contracts like Phil does Speedos, does that mean the 21-22 NFL season is going to be known for the New England Patriots as the return of the Sith, or will it be the Empire Strikes Back?
Empire Strikes Back, but I don't throw out Speedos.
No, it's going to be Return of the Sith. Here's why. Empire Strikes Back was awesome. Return of the Sith sucked, and it didn't go well for them. So let me just tell you, Beer Bob, it won't make a difference. The Patriots, they're not going to do well. They're not going to have a good year. You'll see. That's what I'm saying. Just the Tip says, surprised nobody's brought up Casablanca, Citizen Kane, or The Wizard of Oz, or other movies from that era. Special effects were barely used. Most of the greatness was the plot, lighting, and the acting. I think they're still worth watching at least once. Yes, you should see Casablanca at least once, and Citizen Kane and Wizard of Oz. Why not? Fed Fan says, you know what? I like the matchup analysis on CBS Sports. Yeah, it does. It gives you some insight, but nothing was in there about the kid from Tennessee having surgery. So I guess you got to dig a little deeper if you want to win that prize. Now, Fed Fan, you were so close to winning the NFL Picks contest. I expect you to do well on this one. King Kenton says, I'm having 2 big sweet pork barbacoa tacos with romaine lettuce and pico de gallo here at Cafe Rio. They're juicy, they're messy, and they are delicious. And thanks for the announcement, Jeffrey. Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard was flying. Cars were nicely off to the sides of the road, and people on the sidewalk cheering on the King of Kittens as I zip by them.
Fantastic.
Well done. Everybody who's on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, you may now go about your business. King of Kittens is safely eating his tacos.
Yes, thank you. By the way, we should mention here, as we get the tacos here, the Cardinals have done some free agency shopping. They did agree to terms with offensive lineman Kelvin Beachum on a 2-year contract.
All right. Okay. Where wasn't he already with the Cardinals, or where did he come from?
But he was a free agent, so they retained him.
So they kept the guy who's already mediocre. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Good job. Fairweather Dan says, "Yeah, what's up with the University of Oklahoma calling themselves OU? Shouldn't it be UO?" Oh yeah, you're right. University of Oklahoma should be UO, not OU, because that's Oklahoma University. Wow. Boomer Sooner, would you care to comment? Where Mama hides the cookies says, how about we just call them Ann Ohio State University? That I like. That I like.
That's hilarious.
Purple Nurple says Maroney was deported to Iceland, claims he's not from there. That's right. You got to watch the movie. Just a Tip says, so I guess in keeping with the crazy of this COVID year, Gonzaga is top ranked, GCU is in, and KY and Duke are out. By KY, he means Kentucky, not the lube. King of Kitten says, Michael Keaton was great in Night Shift with Henry Winkler. I haven't seen that since the 80s. So I don't know. Does it stand up to the test of time? FedFan says, listen, guy, I am doing my research. I've checked what the Vegas favorites are. I've listened to what old Baldy Billis has said. I'm on this.
Yeah, she wants that $1,000. She wants that extra stimmy check.
Yeah, why not? It's $1,000 from Harmon Solar, or you get to go see that ASU game, the home opener at the Pro Copy office suite. That's right. They're going to be in the Santan Ford Club, air conditioned, food included, lots of other prizes. So yeah, go for it, buddy. Go for it. 888-368-1580. All right. Before we move on, let's get back into some NFL free agency frenzy. It's time for the Daily Man Law. That's right. I'm going to give you guys little tidbits of man law every day to help round out your understanding of being manly. And today we're going to go back to transportation because, I think it's very important that people understand certain things. One of the transportation man laws, if you borrow someone's car, fill it with gas, or at least get it back to exactly where it was. If it's your brother or something like that, or if it's at work or whatever, fill it at least where it was. But a real man, at least if you borrow somebody's car, then you could pay him back with a full tank of gas. I mean, that just should go without saying, right?
Yeah, no, it absolutely. Look, if they make you do that to give the U-Haul back when you rent it, if that's your friend and somebody you actually care about, then yeah,
right.
You should give them back a little bit of gas.
Oh,
It's the
no,
least
absolutely.
you can do.
Especially, I've used people's trucks. I am the friend who uses somebody else's truck to move. And when doing so, if it's a friend, while I don't, they usually don't expect anything of it from me. I usually will fill up their tank of gas, even if, or if it's already pretty close up to the top, I top it back off. And maybe I ask them, hey, I'm heading back. I'm done for the day. I'm going to grab myself something. Can I grab you as well? Just something to show gratuity for somebody lending you their car. Come on.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So at the very least, put it back where it was. But come on, fill that damn thing up. Here's another piece of man law for you. This it goes along with the very extensive shotgun conversation we had the other day. Man law in the transportation section says if two or more males arrive at a party or a club by a single car and the driving male is hooking up with a girl, it is the responsibility of the other males to just find their own way home.
Absolutely. You hitchhike, you
That's
walk,
right.
you bike. I don't care what it is. You get your own ride home because
And
he's
you
got
salute that man.
Yeah.
You salute that man as he drives away with that gal. Now, the exception to this law is if the driver is hooking up with his current woman.
Oh, yeah.
Well, now the law is void and the driver still holds full responsibility for driving his friends home. Okay, because that's already conquered.
Now, out of question, if the guy's going home and he's got it and he holds the car and he's hooking up with somebody, is he suggested or referred to give up? Like, say they have to Lyft or Uber home and they have to ride share. Is the person who now holds the car, is he subject to like 50% of the ride share at least?
No.
Wow.
No. You salute that man. He drives away unhindered by anything other than the success that he has found and you find your own damn way home. You're a grown ass man. You can figure out how to get home. And if you can't, you shouldn't have been out in the first place. I am
Also,
spoken.
he needs to focus. You can't have him thinking about paying for 50% of a ride share. You need to figure this out on your own. You have to. You have no choice.
Yeah, sorry, Phil. Nobody owes you a ride home.
I was just asking. Oh, please. I'm the one riding. Oh, please.
Well, then don't feel guilty as you drive away. Where Mama hides the cookie says, yeah, it's universal. Be kind and rewind. It's universal. Mr. Phil says, Phil, if you borrow something from me, I will gladly let you grab me anytime you want as payment in return. Did Mr. Wilbur just hit on Phil?
I think you did.
Thunder Snow says, common sense says, return it with a full tank of gas. Yeah, or at least, like if it's my brother or my sister's car, I'll probably just get it right up to the exact point. I might even mark it, so I just fill it and I'll watch it. Just to be that guy to them. But everybody else, yes, you take care of them right. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this hour. And when we come back, we have more NFL to talk about. Here, Tom Brady gave out his cell phone number. We'll talk about that. I don't think it's really. Really. But we'll talk about that. Other NFL stuff too. UFC as well. The Jet says, hi, I just got done showing a home in the West Valley, got in my car, and the first thing I heard was grown ass man. I knew right then you were talking about Phil, and I was on the right station.
Two very important markers, yeah.
I wasn't talking straight at Phil, but it applies. Welcome back, the Jet. Okay, guys, we'll get back to the text line, the Summit Mail Medical text line. And, of course, we've got a lot more to talk about. 2 hours down. We got one to go. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
Well, I started my own restaurant because I love to cook. But that also means a lot of greasy pots and pans. And we can't waste time with endless sink changeovers. So we upgraded to Dawn Professional Pot and Pan.
Dawn Professional cleans 58% more pots and pans per sink than the leading competitor.
Less dish soap, fewer changeovers, and more time doing what we love.
Dawn Professional. It's clean. Upgraded. From P&G Professional.
Contractors, are you missing out on jobs due to lack of bonding? When your current bonding holds you back, call Arizona's #1 bond managers at Constructors Bonding. They have the market relationships and expertise to take you where you want to go. Serving all types of contractors of any size, licensed in all states. When you need better bonding, call Dave McKee at Constructors Bonding, 602-432-5929, or visit CBIalliance.com.
Hi, this is Bruce Jacobs, my friends and former employers at ProCopy. For over 20 years, ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available from companies like Ricoh. More importantly, they provide outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. 3 years ago, they joined the Flex Technologies Group, an Arizona-based nationwide group of companies that share ProCopy's commitment to excellence. So if you have branches anywhere in the United States or just here in Arizona, you can get great personalized service even during the current climate. We use them here at the Fanatic and Money Radio KFNN, and they never disappoint because they remain a local company. They give back to our community by supporting ASU and the Thunderbirds through the Phoenix Open. The ProCopy Foundations has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. That makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Just give them a call at 602-ProCopy. That's 602-776-2679.
Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Felicia.
We're the hosts of the show, Drive Friendly.
With Steve's 40 years of experience, you're going to get the real insider information about the automotive industry. And I'll be interviewing local celebrities and experts so you can be informed and live your very best life.
Laugh and learn with Steve, Felicia, and the gang. You'll be smarter for listening. Drive Friendly, 10 a.m. Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Eating, working, living pain-free. These are a few of the things many of us take for granted. Yet for many United States military veterans, finding and affording oral health care is a challenge many of us don't think about. Dental Lifeline Network is looking for dentists who can change this. DLN is asking dentists and their teams to volunteer to see one veteran with special needs one time per year. Visit willyouseeonevet.org to learn more. That's willyouseeonevet.org.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. Randy White is off at a Weatherman convention, but we got Phil there in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. We got Keon Rose there with us, too, hanging out and having some fun. And we got you guys on the Summit Mail Medical Text line, 888-368-1580. And I tell you what, it's just... it's going to be an interesting weekend, isn't it? Are you guys looking forward to all this March Madness basketball action? This is when the NBA looks the worst. And what I mean is you see hustle, you see defense, you see spunk, you see guys giving their all and putting their bodies on the line, largely because it is also an audition for the NBA. But still, there is no better basketball than college basketball at this time of year. I will fight any woman who says otherwise.
Oh, wow. Any woman, not even any man?
Well, I won't fight anybody, really. I was just saying that. I ain't going to fight no woman. That's a man card violation itself.
That is true. And you're the commissioner. You've got to mind your P's and Q's.
Figure of speech, Jane. I mean this very, very much, but I'm not fighting anybody, really. But no, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. That there is any better basketball in the land. I think that the March Madness basketball, it's even better than the NBA finals.
No. Playoff basketball in the NBA.
Pure basketball. Now, I get it. There's a lot of showmanship. There's a lot of cool stuff that does happen in the NBA at the championship level, but it is purest form. There is no better basketball than what you see played at this time of the year.
I agree completely. Like
Wow.
there is, you've got the one game, you're one and done. There's tension, there's drama, you've got
There's
buzzer
sex.
beaters.
No, there's none. There's none of that, Jeffrey.
There's no sex that I'm aware of. But when you
I
see
was just trying to make
team-
it sound better.
when you see a team, a 15 seed beat a 2, or the 16 beating a 1, which is a thing that's possible now. I mean, I imagine that feels
Some
as good
people
as
hate
sex. I
that.
mean, it's just unbelievable.
Some people hate that. People get mad. They're like, this is just, how is this enjoyable for the people watching when a 15 seed beats a number 1? I just think that's garbage.
Well,
I think that
15 beating
ruins
a 2.
everything. So, okay, whatever, nerd. But you know what I'm saying? A low seed beating a higher seed, an upset early in the tournament, they act like, oh, that ruins everything. It ruins everything. Doesn't ruin anything.
What
yeah, it
sports
does.
movies have these people been watching this entire time? The whole David beating Goliath is the whole point of most sports movies all of us enjoy.
Yeah, but David doesn't beat Goliath until the end of the film. He doesn't beat him right at the beginning of the film. The rest of the film would be boring then.
No, actually, if you want to be really picky about it, when David and Goliath met, this war had been going on, but it was pretty well towards the beginning of stuff when they had their confrontation, and then David beat Goliath. So you want to get biblical with GCU, because those guys, they know two things: basketball and their Bible.
Oh yeah,
they're nice Christian boys.
Their biblical knowledge is out of this world. It's whack. It ain't. It's
Oh, brother.
Yeah.
Talk about David and Goliath. You want to talk about a David and a Goliath? GCU is a David in the land of Goliaths right now. I want there to be upsets. I want there to be, this team from Phoenix, Arizona, that jumps up there. Who the hell are these guys? Oh, it's Grand Canyon University. Well, what's their mascot? Antelopes. The hell's that about? Don't ask questions. It's GCU. They're here to kick your butt. I want to see them do well and move on. And if they do move on, who are they playing? Who are they playing if they move on? Let's see here. Trying to find them here. They're on here as GC. There they are. If they beat Iowa, they'll play either VCU or Oregon.
Fantastic.
I was waiting for you guys to say there's no chance in hell they could win those games either.
Well, I mean,
those games. Well, obviously, as you move on in a tournament, it gets infinitely less likely. Yeah, I mean, those are going to be tough teams to have to beat. But first you got to first look at the opponent in front of you. You're like we mentioned it earlier. They are going to be playing with no pressure whatsoever. Iowa's the team. You focus on them, have some fun, just let loose and let it fly.
Well, I don't have Iowa getting past Kansas, so anything could happen. 888-368-1580. Fed fan says, here, I'll throw you a tidbit. Vilas says, watch Oklahoma State. He doesn't believe that they are in sleeper teams. What? Prison Wallet says, listen, for that man law in the last hour, full tank or not, if you borrow somebody's ride, you fill that tank before you return it. That's just being courteous and grateful. Yeah, and then like Phil says, what if they give it to you with a full tank? Yeah, you give them a little something for the effort, a 6-pack or something, just whatever they like. They did you a solid. The least you could do is help them out with it. Kiss the Cook says, yes, the least you can do. It's the least you can do to show your appreciation for someone allowing you to borrow their car. You return the favor. Wow, did you find that or did you just print that?
Oh, I just printed it.
Wow, show that again. He actually did. All I was saying is, well, get away from the camera. We can't see it. It's too close. You put that up there. Now I know I've got a problem. You should probably.
Are there nipples on the pineapple?
No, he's oh my God, he did. Get that off the screen.
They're male nipples.
It doesn't matter.
What difference could that possibly make?
That is horrible. Get rid of that thing. What is wrong with you? Keon, if you had a notice, I might not have for a while. Thank you for that.
I'm very perceptive.
I wanted
the way he was rubbing it. I was like, why is he rubbing it that way? And then I saw it, and I was immediately repelled.
Okay, well, a lot of people get repelled by Phil, but the pineapple needs to be smaller and on like a popsicle stick. I don't want to see it that big, especially not the way you just made it. Fed fan says, sorry, he doesn't think that there's any sleeper teams this year. All right, well, it's not like he's never wrong, right? Large Marg says 3 is impossible, but any list without Lebowski is incomplete. The dude minds. Yes, this aggression will not stand. How about a White Russian, guys? Yes, Phil, why haven't you watched The Big Lebowski? We've been bugging you about that for months.
No. Months is a bit generous. It's been weeks at best. And
it all runs together for me.
Yeah,
you know that.
I know. But we've been talking about this for years. No, absolutely not.
Since you were a child, I've been telling you. Jagdog says, hey, Keon, what's your go-to adult beverage?
I don't really drink.
He's a horrible alcoholic, Jagdog, and he'd thank you not to bring it up again.
I don't know. I just never have.
Yeah. That's cool. You don't have to. There's no man card violation to being a guy who's like, nah, I don't need a beer. I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
And then your friends also just make you the automatic designated driver. So you get to hang out with your friends and be yourself.
Yeah, that's annoying though, isn't it? You got to drive everybody home all the time.
It is when people realize it and start asking you all the time. Then it gets annoying. If you just happen to be there and everybody asks, it's not that big a deal.
That's why I got a short bed truck, because I didn't want to have to help people move. And that turned out to be, if you have a truck, it doesn't matter. You might as well get the long bed. I made a huge mistake there. The Jet says, did you guys know that most men get their vasectomy during March Madness? It is the best time to sit in your chair all weekend long and watch basketball. Yeah, and that those people getting sued for calling it vasectomy mayhem, getting sued by the NCAA, it was a great idea. They could still do it. I think they just have to change their phraseology. Just the Tip says, not if it's breaking news, but it is good news. Cardinals signing Kelvin Beachum for 2 years. Now 4 of the 5 offensive line that allowed only 29 sacks last year compared to 50 the previous year are under contract. All right, so maybe I was unfair saying the guy was mediocre and whatever, but you still need more help. You still need more backup. If somebody gets injured and suddenly, Kyler Murray's on his back 50 times again. So Just the Tip says, by the way, yes, man law fact, and more than just a few gallons. Think how much it costs to rent a truck. So even if you fill it up all the way, it's still less than renting a truck. He says another one on the man law fact. If my friend is getting lucky, it's up to me to either I get lucky as well, or I just start downloading that Lyft app. Absolutely right, Just the Tip. Boomer Sooner says, okay, the OU thing goes back to the old original Big 8 conference. There are many schools that have this dilemma. Kansas is KU. Colorado is CU. Nebraska is NU. Missouri is MU. Even Kentucky is KU. The only schools in the now Big 12 not like this are state schools.
So if there's a university for Las Vegas, is it NU?
Are you trying to make a Gatorade joke? Mile High Guy says the guy with the bar hookup tosses the car keys to his buddies and he drives the lady home in her own car. 2 problems solved. Except for no, Mile High Guy, you can't slip away if you take her car. Kyle G says 310 to Yuma with John Wayne, The Untouchables, Lord of the Rings, and honorable mention, Forrest Gump. Thank you, Kyle G. Baker's Cocky Hen says, tell me the pineapple has a Speedo on it. No, it better not. Just don't give any ideas. Thank God he left the room. Just the Tip says, Keon, not sure if anybody's asked, but do you bet on horses?
I would if I had more money.
Do you have a dog? Do you have a dog?
I don't have a dog. My apartment won't allow it.
Do you make horrible mistakes while batting in slow pitch softball?
Yes, pretty much always, because I'm bad at softball.
Do you take a lot of walks in slow pitch softball?
Do I take a lot of walks? I
On
don't know that
purpose.
On purpose?
Or do you swing away?
No, I swing at everything.
There you go.
I'm Giancarlo Stanton.
Nope, that's the right way to go. Rusty Nut says Kyler Murray gets sacked because he can't see over the offensive line. You are correct. Fish Tank says correct on Jacoby, by the way, $5 million guaranteed. However, $7.5 million with incentives. All right. Seems like they got him at a bargain. Thunder the Sound Barbarian says, has Phil seen The Replacements? Have you seen the movie The Replacements, Phil? The football movie.
Oh, no, with Keanu Reeves. You know what? I've seen the ending, but I haven't seen the full thing.
You got to watch that thing, man, because Thundar says you should go now because if you haven't seen that movie, you need to leave.
No, it looks good.
We got a whole hour show left, Thundar. We can't throw them out right now. He says, oh, by the way, the UCSB Gauchos, they're in the big dance. Olé! Boomer Sooner says, shut up, Phil. Did I miss Jeffrey Boomer Sooner? Well, I didn't do it because you didn't ask for one. I didn't know I was supposed to do one. The Jet says, Randy's not here, so I'm throwing the flag on that Kyler Murray comment. Well, yeah, then you gave me a text moments ago that would get me fired if I had read, so I guess we're even. Killer Rabbit says, yes, you drive your own car. When you're hooking up, you only play away games. President Wallet says, can't you ask your buddies hook up? Not going to read that one. Do I need to reset my thing? Is it too much pineapple?
No, it just keeps coming in and out. But it's actually fine. It's just it's really bad for a moment.
Those are my best moments, Phil.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
So Tom Brady gave out his phone number.
He did.
That is a bad idea. I guess he wanted his fans to be able to text him, and maybe he just wanted to be able to say whatever he wanted, texting them back and not getting canceled on the Twitter or the Facebook or the whatever. But he did. He posted a video on Twitter, gave out his phone number, which I have right here. If you want to say hi to Tom Brady, you can text him at 415-612-1737. He says he only has one rule. Number one rule is you don't text him on game days. If you believe this is actually his personal cell phone number, you're crazy. Or if he has it, it's not like the one he goes around in. It's not the one he talks to people on the phone on. You're not going to ever get him to answer at 3 a.m. But here, take a listen to Tom Brady explaining exactly what the dealio is with him giving out his phone number.
Hey, what's up, everyone? So this is a real first for me, but I've been talked into giving out my cell phone on the internet. So listen, rule number one, before we get into any of this, no texting on game days. Really, though, what this is it's a tool that will allow me to communicate more directly with my fans and my followers, where we can actually do a better job of responding to you and your questions and all the great messages. Sometimes it gets hard to sort through the "you suck, Brady" in the comments. I know there's quite a few of those over the years. It's usually from the Jet fans. But to be clear, if you do text me "you suck," yes, I'll see it, and I may or may not respond. So shoot me a message. I promise I'm going to get back to as many of you guys as possible when I have the time.
There is no way in hell that Tom Brady is sitting there, bling, 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 and reading all those text messages.
No, not a chance. Not even a chance.
There is an intern out there going, I hate my job, and just going through all this stuff, and maybe getting some of them Tom Brady to look at. But there's no way he's sitting there hanging out with Giselle and the kids he open mouth kisses and going, hold on, everybody, I have to now answer these 9 million text messages. And if you think that people are going to adhere to the no texting on game days,
oh, that's just a challenge.
Are out of your mind.
Oh, that's just a challenge for some trolls
Bling,
out there.
bling, 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 bling. Yes, Fat Jesus says Brett Favre's already sent him a few pics. If you know what I mean.
Geraldo Rivera. Oh, gosh.
The Jet says, hey, can you text me Tom's number? I'm driving, so I can't write anything down. No, I'm not allowed to text you back. It's actually against the law. I can't text listeners with our text line. I'm not even making that up. That is the truth. I can get sued for that. So this is a one-way deal where you text in, we have the conversation on the air. But I probably could put that, go to Tom Brady's Twitterer. He's going to have it right there. Yeah. So say it, 415-612-1737.
You know what I think of whenever I hear this? I just think, how is he marketing off this? Now, none of us have really texted this number, so we don't know.
I'll tell you how. You're opting in. You're opting in to let Tom Brady get your phone number. So whatever he's promoting, whatever he is doing, now he has permission to text you back. In fact,
it's TB12.
Oh,
it's going to be TB12 stuff all day.
At the next break, which is soon, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to hit up Tom Brady with my phone. And I bet what's going to come back is going to be a thing that actually has some legalese on it saying you're opting in to get messages from Tom Brady and TB12. I almost guarantee that, but I will do that at the next break.
Because remember, he's pretty good at this whole advertising and commercialism stuff. Because I can't remember, I think it was like 2 years ago, he did that Hulu commercial where we were all right before the Super Bowl. Was he walking onto the field? Was he walking away from the field?
Right.
Is this his retirement speech? And then it just turned out to be a Hulu commercial. But he had us. He had everybody talking about that picture. What does it mean? Could it mean more than just him? Oh my God, is he looking at the field? Is the grass glistening the right way? Does this mean, is there seven pairs of shoes because he's got 7 pairs of rings? Is he going for one more? Everything else. He's pretty astute when it comes to this stuff.
Hefty Lefty says Tom Brady went the full Mike Jones. You never go the full Mike Jones. Blissful Hay says, who's Tom Brady? Boomer Sooner says, I said it was necessary for you to Boomer Sooner me. So Boomer Sooner me. Boomer Sooner, Boomer Sooner, Boomer Sooner, Boomer Sooner. Thank you. Thank you very much. I had just eaten some flavored jelly beans, so it kind of fell apart at the end there, though. Baker's Cocky Hen says, I bet Brady knows why it's called the Ohio State University. He loves wearing their gear every year that he loses a bet on that game. The Michigan-Ohio State thing still goes on. All right. Okay, we got to take a break.
That's it?
No, I just wanted to see if anybody'd say anything. I said it all angry like. I just wonder if somebody would say something.
Well,
you guys are horrible at the awkward silences, aren't you?
Keon, do you have anything you want to say about it? You feel angry too about Jeffrey angrily stopping?
I really don't feel all that angry about it. I'm more excited to see what's going to happen with the Tom Brady number thing. Though I will say, I only trust numbers that are given out by accident, like that one time that Hard Knocks accidentally put Ryan Tannehill's phone number on the screen when they had the Dolphins on Hard Knocks. Those are the numbers I want to text. The accidental.
Those are the ones you text in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
Yes. All right, fine. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Free speech is priceless. It is now 13 years since Summit Male Medical started helping men overcome the effects of erectile dysfunction, premature issues, and low testosterone. And the only way we could help was to be able to get the message out that we could help. Thank you, free speech. We've had to deal with these sensitive topics and inform the public that we can help and we guarantee to help with ED, or we won't charge you. These are issues that break apart relationships and then in turn families. And without freedom of speech, we would have not been able to help the tens and tens of thousands of guys here at Summit Male Medical. If you're one of the millions that still need help with ED, PE, or low T, call 480-398-1000 or go to summitmailmedical.com. Free speech. Ideas and information are not to be afraid of, but they should be discussed openly. So make that call to Summit Medical to start that discussion to get you the help you need. 480-398-1000 or go to summitmailmedical.com. We are here to help.
If you own or work for a small business and you thought radio advertising was too expensive, listen up. Bruce Jacobs here, and The Fanatic has a fantastic offer to get the word out that your business is open. You'll get a customized advertising campaign, letting our loyal listeners know that you are ready to serve. It's affordable, costing only hundreds, where all the other radio stations charge thousands. So don't wait. This opportunity won't last forever. The Open for Business package is now available. Go to 1580thefanatic.com, find out all the details, and get your small business kicking ass again.
Bill Hillistray here to talk to you about my friend Mike Sheehan with the Sheehan Real Estate Group and My Home Group. If you're in the market for buying or selling a home, he's going to tell you what you already know. Supply is low, demand is high. That's where the Sheehan Group comes in to make sure you don't settle on the first home, but find that perfect home. For buying or selling, give them a call at Sheehan Group, 602-740-4818 for your real estate needs. They're your teammate in real estate.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents Doug.
Okay, class, let's bump it up to 9.
Come on, Limu, keep pedaling. We got to build our endurance to let more people know that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Pick up the pace, Third Legs.
Hey, don't talk to Limu like that.
I'm not, I'm talking to you.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Get a customized quote at libertymutual.com.
AZ Preps is a 2-hour in-depth look at the Arizona Prep sports scene. Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Covering all aspects of the Arizona Interscholastic Association. AZ Preps 365 focuses on all Arizona high school sports, student athletes, news, and notes from around Arizona. Join your host, Jose Garcia, Brett Quintine, and James Mello as they cover the prep sports scene from A to Z. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings from 8 to 10 on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. So I texted Tom Brady, and as I expected, the response came back, "What up? Yes, this is actually Tom Brady. This message is automated, but everything else will come directly from me on my phone. Click my link and add yourself so you are in my contacts." Okay, well, if this was real, I would already be in your contacts and not have to click on some weird link right here. So I'm going to click on it, and I guarantee you it's going to be in.community.com. What's that? What is that?
Never heard of it.
So now,
Have you, Keon?
So Tom Brady is basically just trying to get your data. You get your information because it's asking for my first name, my last name, my gender identity, my birthday, my city, and my email. And all of this is just to, get information for his company. So I'm going to do this, though. I'm going to do this because I want to see if I ever actually hear from Tom Brady. I'm not gonna do it right now.
You're gonna be the guinea pig for all of us here on the show and the Fourth Dimension. You are nothing if not just a martyr for us, Jeffrey. Thank you so much.
I'm not gonna die for this.
No, we appreciate your sacrifice. Go forth, my friend. Go forth and oh wait.
What? Why would I need you to stop hitting that button? I've noticed over the last few days, with Randy not being here, you keep hitting the boner button, and I don't understand why. It's usually out of context and has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
What about this? You will go forth and fight for our right.
That is the sound effect we use when somebody flips somebody off.
Oh,
that's
really?
the middle finger sound effect. See, that's Randy's not here, so I'll say it. Stay in your lane, Phil. Stay in your lane.
Will do.
Doesn't really sound like something I'd say, though. 888-368-1580. Large Marge says, okay, guys, Kansas won't get as many points as GCU, but really, without the points, you wouldn't put Phil's check on the Lopes. Well, they're playing Iowa, so I don't think I'd be betting on Kansas anyway.
Yeah, besides, who says I get a check?
Yeah, we don't pay Phil. Hefty Lefty says, Hold on. Fed fan says, woo, I've made my picks. Come on, $1,000. Head my way. See, there you go. That is the spirit. It's anybody's game to win. Go to 1580thefanatic.com and join the Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic Bracket Challenge contest. You can win $1,000 or some tickets to the ASU home opener. And listen, nobody is any smarter than you are when it comes to the picks, unless you like pick horribly. But then it doesn't matter. But I mean, you can't go wrong. Give it a shot. Hey, Berg is on. Haven't heard from you in a while.
Hey,
Berg
Berg
says, afternoon, guys. At PT today, I wore my super fan shirt and I had 3 people ask me about the fish in the blender. So yeah, good time.
Nice. Nicely done.
Well, yeah, the Daily Blender is the show, and the 2 fish represented me and Randy originally, and of course, that tension and suspense of whether or not somebody turns on the blender and turns us into mulch. Fat Jesus says Brady has my virginity. Isn't that enough?
I'm sorry. What?
Huh? Just a Tip says what Tom Brady is doing is proving that a sucker is born every minute. You are absolutely correct. I think this is just him mining people's data and stuff. And that's exactly what's going to happen to me. So I'm going to let it happen to me. I'm going to let it happen to me so it doesn't have to happen to you.
You're going to go forth and take the bullet for all of us here in the 4th dimension. Thank you so much, Jeffrey.
I'm not taking a bullet for anybody.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not losing lives here.
Yeah, somebody's probably going to spam call me all the time now. Just a Tip says, have you seen the most recent picture of Ryan Fitzpatrick? At this point, he looks like the dad from Duck Dynasty. Having never watched that show, you're saying his beard is out of control? It's pretty?
It's the size of another face. Wouldn't you say so, Keon? It's another face inside of it.
Pretty outrageous beard. Watching him play for the Dolphins last year, his beard was fighting the chin strap, and the chin strap was losing.
You know what it is? You remember? Did you ever watch that first Harry Potter, Jeffrey?
No.
Okay, so this guy, he wears a wrap around the back of his head, and you just think it's just his normal headwear. He starts unwrapping it, and all of a sudden you find that there's another face on the back of his head, and it's really freaky, and it's really scary.
You think that Ryan Fitzpatrick is like Zeeblebop Breebox from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the president, where he goes like this and there's another head under his beard?
Exactly. We don't know what's under there. You try finding a picture of Ryan Fitzpatrick without a beard. You can't.
He is from Gilbert, so that's possible. Just a Tip says Cardinals are all set to draft Vera Tucker from USC and put him in his natural position of right guard. If they do this, they'll have a very strong offensive line, regardless of how the competition between Vera Tucker and Justin Murray ends up. And Keim might actually get to keep his job.
Honestly,
well, that is your suggestion, but as you know, Keim does dumb things in drafts sometimes.
Oh yeah, I think that there's a lot of different ways that you can go in this draft and still have a quote unquote good draft. You could even make an argument for them to move down, and they would still, depending on who they came away with, still be able to walk away with the draft completely satisfied with what they did here. They have a couple of holes, but nothing so pressing that it's a direct need that you absolutely must draft in order to rectify the situation. It's pretty much standard across the board. The only thing really I would personally appreciate if they could somehow move up and get Kyle Pitts. That would be absolutely tremendous. That would be the best move for them, I think.
Mystery Girl is on the text line, says, don't do it, Jeffrey. It's a scam unless you register yourself as Scooby-Doo. I know it's a scam. I can see it's a scam. That's right. Tom Brady, a man who takes PPP money from small businesses for his TB12, $1 million worth, and then goes out and buys a boat, leaving other businesses without any money. I know it's a scam. What I'm going to do, I'll register myself as Scooby-Doo. I will use my own phone number, but I'll use Bruce Jacobs' email address. So that's how I'm going to do this.
I love that. I absolutely adore that.
Cabana says, is there a legit way to tell who has the worst record in the NCAA pool? If so, I will donate a bottle of Jack Daniels to that guy. If someone loses every game, I'll also kick in $100. Worse, a bottle. All wrong, a bottle and $100. Well, here's the thing, Cabana. I think it will show us points wise who has the worst bracket at the end. I don't think we can see each other's brackets, but maybe after the tournament starts, I don't know. Here's the other thing I'm not sure about the CBS platform. Can we change our picks? You can't really change your picks as you go.
Well, no,
it's
no,
like
not as
just,
you go. It's
that's it.
Once it's locked, it's locked. But
so once it's locked, I have a feeling you will be able to see other people's brackets.
Yeah, that would only serve to make sense. Keep in mind, if you it's almost equally as impressive just in a measurement of futility of if somebody gets a lot wrong, because you have to go wrong across the board on a 50-50 shot across the board. It's really intriguing.
FedFan has a more important point to make. She says, I see you guys on YouTube and I realize you guys wear the same color shirts 2 days in a row. I was wearing a checkered shirt yesterday. I'm wearing a light blue shirt. Yesterday was a darker blue shirt. I don't know about these other guys. Are you guys wearing the same shirts as yesterday?
No, I've got like a burnt orange red shirt going on today, whereas yesterday it was bright red.
Keon,
I was wearing a gray hoodie yesterday, but that was just a blank gray hoodie, and this is the Wizards gray hoodie. So that's just different.
It looked a little worn down. Yeah.
Well, I saw Washington, and I thought down below would say, doesn't matter.
Well, that's how it feels when you're watching the Wizards. I think they got destroyed by the Bucks yesterday, so that wasn't any fun.
When are they going to trade Bradley Beal?
Not happening.
Why won't they? Why can't they? Why they are doing a disservice to the team to not trade him.
No, they are not. They're trying to build around Bradley Beal.
What are you talking about?
Getting a superstar is really hard in this league. Getting anyone who's even close, who's even close to a superstar is also really hard in this league. And you give Bradley Beal away, who knows when you're going to get another one.
Come on. If you were to somehow get even like a half of what the Nets were able to get for James Harden, if you were to even get half, that would do the team a much better service than.
We don't have Kevin Durant on the team already. We don't have Kyrie Irving on the team already. Like, what do we? We don't have anybody.
If you're getting him,
no, I'm not saying you're going to get something back in return, but get picks, get somebody. Maybe you go to like the Mavericks and you trade Kristaps Porzingis for Bradley Beal, and
so
like
he can never be healthy. No, thank you. I'm going to keep Bradley Beal, and you're going to try and slowly build around Bradley Beal.
See this?
Drafted Rui Hachimura. Rui's turning out to be a really good basketball player. The Russell Westbrook thing was a swing and a miss, obviously, but you've got a bunch of picks of your own. Just build around a young basketball.
No, stop it. This is just wasting everybody's time and money. This is why I'm not a fan of the Washington Wizards and how they do business. Look at this. Just Bradley Beal just to put on a show. Like, come see the 10-foot-pound hairy woman who's just in the middle of the circus, who you're going to just showcase.
Just a 10-foot-pound hairy woman.
Yeah.
So she's 10 feet tall. She's 1 pound and she's hairy.
Yeah. See, you're already intrigued, aren't you? But you're also somewhat horrified at just how badly that all looks all married together.
I just keep forgetting that the Washington has a basketball team. I mean,
people very often forget that too.
Yeah, what's more insulting to you, Keon? The fact that I absolutely hate and just absolutely admonish everything that the Washington Wizards are and do, or that Jeffrey just fails to even recognize them?
Well, what's worse is your hatred. The not noticing we're definitely used to. We don't get on primetime games on TV. Nobody cares. Nobody watches. It's just Wizard fans.
I think apathy is worse than hate, I'm absolutely apathetic towards your team. Like our radio station owner, Radio Ron, he's in a biker club called the Sons of Apathy, and because they just don't care about you. It's worse than hating you. But that said, he rides an electric bike. Long story and assless chaps, and we're not supposed to talk about it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. Let's get this done right here, right now, and we'll move on. It's time for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back to the year 1910, Barney Oldfield set a speed record of 131.275 miles an hour for the measured mile in a German Blitzen Benz at Daytona, Florida. Oldfield, the speed king of the horseless carriage world, twice raced the Indy 500 at the end of his career, began driving for Henry Ford in 1902 and helped him win financial backing for his motor car company. To me, Jeffrey. Yep, that was pretty damn fast back then. Yeah, back then, 1910. Can you believe it's just been barely over 100 years that we've had cars? And this guy and his Blitzen Benz, I'm driving fast in your car. Him and his good friend Harold Arminus Miller in 1917 built a race car with a roll cage inside of a streamlined driver's compartment, and it completely enclosed the driver to increase safety. They called it the Golden Submarine, but that was the beginning of having safety mechanisms to help protect race car drivers. So Yeah, very, very well done, George. Nicely done there. 888-368-1580. SOL says, hey, Jeffrey, what would the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy say about Tom Brady? That probably that he deflates footballs and he's a very good football player. That's all I would say. I don't know if it would have much to say about anything unless it was to warn you that he is an alien, which would make a lot of sense and explain his complete success. Boogie says, am I the only one excited about Tiger Woods doing another video game? I'm so excited because his video games were a blast. He's doing another, what was it, like GTA or something?
No, he's doing the PGA game is coming back, and it's going to be with 2K this time.
I thought it would be Grand Tiger Audio, where you'll be driving, you'll be racing, and suddenly the screen goes black, and you have no idea what's happening, and the next thing you wake up in a hospital somewhere with, I don't know.
Or you wake up to a golf club swinging down on the windshield.
Well, that was the old version. That was the old version. Yes. Fed fans, she's really hung up on watching us on YouTube. She says, now I've seen Phil on YouTube, I realize my biceps are bigger than his are. I think I could take Phil in an arm wrestling contest.
Fed fan.
You can't take me in one.
This is Fed fan, yes?
Yeah, Fed fan. She's a lady.
What happened? What happened? We had an alliance. We had a truce. We had a bond over croissants. What happened? What happened?
She's a competitor. She was ready. She saw your little noodle arm there, and she's like, I want him.
Guys, no, don't. You know, not for what you booed. No, not Fed fan.
You're the one who hit the boo button.
Movement has absolutely reversed course since yesterday.
Yeah, you know what? We did do 2.5 hours of mostly nice to Phil. And now Fed fan is just gone full over the top. She wants to take Phil on in an arm wrestling match.
At 2, Fed fan.
So let me ask you this, Phil. Would you arm wrestle her at the next remote?
Again, if everyth's safe.
Well, yeah, COVID aside.
Yes.
She says, we're still buds, Phil, but I want you. Like that.
Yeah, okay.
Not in the other way.
Yeah.
Boogie sent me, oh yeah. It's a Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2K22. Tiger Woods in a wheelchair.
No, stop it. No.
You know how he would squat down and hold his club and kind of look at a shot? Well, somebody photoshopped the wheelchair behind him for that. That's good. Thunder Snow says, Phil is afraid of Fed fan. Somebody's a little chicken.
No, honestly, where's the win though in that?
Chicken.
Either I beat Fed fan or I don't. Where's the win in that?
Well, winning by beating Fed fan.
No, because that's still rude, man. That's still like
it's not rude. She's you're not like you're punching her in the throat. She just wants a fair wrestling match.
All right.
Just arm wrestling, and she challenged you.
Rusty Nut says Phil is a Lakers fan. So Large Mark says, okay, how about a Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster? Do you remember how to pour one of those, Phil?
Yeah, I think I learned it in early in my college career here. Right.
Yeah, you better not be looking to do much of anything for the next hour because it's going to jack you up, Large March. Gorilla Toe says, glad I'm not watching YouTube. I don't want to see Phil's little noodle. No, I meant his noodly arms. I didn't mean his, but for Rusty Nuts, thank you. Fighting Wampa says, the only way Washington Wizards are going to do all the crazy trades that Phil is talking about is if maybe John Elway suddenly becomes their GM.
All the
Don't give him any
trades.
ideas.
You couldn't do worse.
It's not like they're going to be doing multiple trades. They just need to trade Bradley Beal because he's not even a superstar. He obviously can't bring a team to the playoffs by himself as it is. So go ahead and get something while you've got a in its prime asset. His value will never be higher than what it is right now.
Thunder the Santa Barbarian says, watch out, Jeffrey. Tom Brady is one vengeful mofo. He's going to get your data. He's going to find out about all the times you correctly pointed out he's a dirty, dirty cheater. And then he's going to come out to Arizona and he's going to get you. I'm really not worried about Tom Brady. Does that look like a guy who could fight you? I'm not worried for one moment about Tom Brady.
I think catch you first, and we've seen the 40 time.
Very slow, and I do have some speed even at this age. But Thundar says, "Don't worry, Phil. You would not win the arm wrestling contest, so you wouldn't be less than gentlemanly."
Yeah, don't worry. You'll lose, so no need to worry.
And hey, listen, there's a line forming because now King of Kitten says, "I want to arm wrestle Fed fan."
Oh, Fed fan. Oh, nice.
Heckler Jones says, #1 sports talk show in Phoenix. Rolls eyes. Deuces.
That's not. Yeah.
Let's see. What's this all about? What? Heckler Jones says, thanks, Jim or Jeffrey Rome, for repeating the earlier take of another show. What is he talking about? I didn't even listen to Jim Rome or anything today. So I don't know what take I have that was similar to somebody else's, but I didn't watch nothing. So fill me in. I'm curious. It's funny because sometimes people will think of the same thing and you'll be talking about it and that'll be the way it is. I know the late night hosts oftentimes will have the exact same joke. It's not that somebody stole it. It's just they came up with the same time. Conan O'Brien and Jay Leno and Jimmy Kimmel a lot of times will have those similar things. So please fill me in, Heckler Jones. I'm not sure what take you're talking about. Gotta take a break though. We'll be back and wrap this thing up. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
If I'm not commuting anymore, where do I really want to live?
While you handle life's questions, Merrill Guided Investing helps you manage your portfolio and invest for your next move with the option to work with an advisor at a low cost and minimum. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/investing goals to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
If you own or work for a small business and you thought radio advertising was too expensive, listen up. Bruce Jacobs here, and The Fanatic has a fantastic offer to get the word out that your business is open. You'll get a customized advertising campaign, letting our loyal listeners know that you are ready to serve. It's affordable, costing only hundreds where all the other radio stations charge thousands. So don't wait. This opportunity won't last forever. The Open for Business package is now available. Go to 1580thefanatic.com, find out all the details, and get your small business kicking ass again.
I'm Cisco Miranda, owner of Miranda Delivery Service. As a business owner, my job is to provide the best quality service for our customers. Affinity Technology helped us reinvent our business processes, using technology to make us more efficient. I didn't know I needed technology consulting, but my ROI has been off the charts. Affinity Technology has saved us more than 80 man-hours a week and has helped me get back to what I do best, focus on my customers. Visit atechaz.com. That's atechaz.com and see how better technology processes can help your small business.
These last few months have reinforced just how unpredictable the world is increasingly becoming. Right now, we're seeing market highs in the face of economic lows. Professional investors are wisely positioning their portfolios to protect against possible market downturns while still benefiting from the current bull market. So should you. Register for Online Trading Academy's complimentary 3-hour class, Protection from the Election. This new class will explore strategies to protect wealth from instability and capture profits during both bull and bear cycles. Call 844-877-2337 to reserve your complimentary seat in Protection from the Election. Space is limited and all COVID safety measures will be followed. Classes are available in Scottsdale, Chandler, or Peoria. Call 844-877-2337 or text OTA to 31996. Again, call 844-877-2337 or text OTA to 31996.
AZ Preps is a 2-hour in-depth look at the Arizona Prep sports scene. Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Covering all aspects of the Arizona Interscholastic Association. AZ Preps 365 focuses on all Arizona high school sports, student athletes, news, and notes from around Arizona. Join your host, Jose Garcia, Brett Quintai, and James Mello as they cover the prep sports scene from A to Z. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings from 8 to 10 on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Live and local.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. That's what I'm talking about with a Funky Friday kind of sound there, Phil. That is some funk music, not the garbage that you're playing from the 70s before.
The Wiggles are funk.
No, they're not. Shut up. 888-368-1580. I really want to hear from Heckler Jones on whatever take he heard from Jim Rome that I did the same, because I swear to God, I did not listen to Jim Rome today. I didn't listen to any radio today other than what we're doing right here. So I am perplexed. I am intrigued to hear about that. Kiss the Cook says, I got $50 on FedFan. I don't know who you're talking to, but I'm not a bookie. Keon Rose, not a bookie. So Phil would have to make that bet with you. So I don't think he's gonna make that bet. Just the Tip says, I swear to God, I'll pony up the next 30 pack of Bud Light as a prize if you agree to lower the volume on Bruce Jacobs ads. My goodness, he reminds me of my ex-wife. I liked what she had to say at the beginning, but then her mouth just got loud.
Jeez Louise.
Just the Tip. I don't know what you're talking about. All the commercials are the same level. You're just being that way. 888-368-1580. So we are going to do the Wheel of Sports here in a little bit. We don't usually have time for that. We used to do that every day. It's just there's so many different stories, so many things out there to talk about that we just never have time for all of it with the way this show works. So we've devised a way. What we do is we put up a bunch of random stories on the wheel. We give it a spin, and then whatever comes up next, that's what we talk about. But before we get to that, this was interesting. The NFL and the NFLPA have been discussing whether or not they should have mandatory vaccinations. It's pretty unlikely that they're going to do it. But this is a topic that is being considered not just by football or basketball or baseball, but a lot of businesses right now. A lot of people are, playing with the idea of like, okay, this hurts business. When we can't be in business, of course, we lose money. And when people are sick and out sick, we can't, we can't do this. And so now when you're doing something like a sporting event, yeah, you need to have everybody out there healthy. You got to, we had some games get postponed last year. We've seen what can happen from that. But is it right to require a vaccination on a player? And, I guess it's just going to go down the line of what you believe. Some people are going to say, yeah, I think it's the only way to keep things going. We rely on these players. We rely on these teams. This is our outlet. This is our entertainment. And having sports during COVID has been a godsend for an awful lot of people. So damn right, we should make sure they all get vaccines so that they are safe out there and they can play without interruption. But then you have to also remember, these are human beings that have their own opinions, their own thought processes. And, maybe they don't want to, maybe they, so just like in real life with us, there's going to be those same concerns for the players. Would the teams love it if they all did? Absolutely. You got to take care of that moneymaker, right? If I were a player, I would hope more players would, because the more of us that are vaccinated, the less chance there is of missing games, and the less chance of me getting sick because of it. There's a lot of issues on this, but when you get to a point where you say mandatory, I don't know where we're at. I don't know. What do you guys think? 888-368-1580.
When you go mandatory, I think that's what the players union is for. You make sure that maybe all of the players are on the same page, or at least enough players agree that you're making a decision that everybody's kind of on board with. Because I kind of agree. You're going to have people who are skeptical of vaccines, whether that's anti-science or not. That's up to them, though. They get to be the person to decide whether or not they want one or feel comfortable getting one. But if you have a players union, then everybody's supposed to get together and maybe have that conversation and then work with the league to make sure maybe X amount of people need to get vaccinated until we're absolutely safe. And can we even reach that number?
I think one thing to note of this as well is that HIPAA laws may play into an effect here as well, where you're not able to disclose certain medical information to the vast public or have that spill out. So even if the NBA itself says,
you could make a case that if you have to disclose certain things for the injury report, that could fall into that per contract that you signed with the NFL. Just saying.
No, I know. So that's why I'm saying it's a complex situation that we would have to weave in that specific aspect. But even if the NBA were not to do that, I'm sure, because there's been talks about this ongoing, that there have been talks that if you do have the vaccine, that they will go a little bit more lax on you on what your requirements are and what your restrictions are should you ever puncture the sanctity of the virtual bubble that the NBA at least is trying to make. I believe that if you come into contact with somebody who does have a confirmed case, you aren't required to have a 10-day quarantine. You're just required to stay away from like any and all things team related for the next day to like 3 days, depending on the severity of the case. So there are different ways about that the NBA is going about this that, again, HIPAA laws in just a more tactful, logical way might actually prevent. So therefore, in interest of saying, oh, well, why is this player, are we safe to assume that this player is being held away from team practices because they did not take a vaccine or not? I think the NBA itself might say, we don't want to deal with that headache. So it's either mandatory or not. So that way we aren't at a legal dispute for HIPAA laws.
You got to make a choice. And I guess this is another way you could put it to them if you're in the NFL. Here's your choice. We keep going with the restrictions. We keep going with everything we're doing the way we have done it, pretending like the vaccine doesn't exist to protect the investments, to protect the teams, protect the money. We keep going that way, or everybody gets vaccinated. But here's the thing with the variants that are out there, everybody could be vaccinated right now, but you still have to operate in the original way because the Brazilian and the South African variants don't care about your vaccines. They will still jack you up, and they're still working on getting boosters ready. Hopefully maybe sometime this summer or early fall. So that's still an issue. So I don't ever like the idea of mandating what people do with themselves or their body. But listen, when it comes to stopping this pandemic, we're too stupid as a people, I think, to do it. Because the variants and the mutations are always going to outpace the vaccines when they come to the table. And because we refuse to mask up and do some of those simple things, we refuse to do some of the things it would take to stop a pandemic, this is going to be with us for a while. And I don't know what comes next. I don't know if somebody has to step up and get stricter with how things are done. I'm not gonna like it either, but it's just a shame we weren't smart enough to take care of it ourselves. Fat Jesus says, sure, Jeffrey, you didn't listen to Rome. Whatever you say, sports Carlos Mencia. Now, them's fighting words right there, buddy.
that is a line crossed.
Man, as a former stand-up comedian, I want to punch you in the throat. But no, I swear I did. I actually, I tried to watch some stuff on the TV getting ready, but I didn't even get a chance to even do that. I kind of had a headache. But Mr. Wilbur says, good show today, boys. And I will leave you with this. Young Frankenstein and the greatest phrase ever spoken in a movie. Nice knockers. Well, he's talking about the knockers on the door. If you haven't seen the movie,
it's a great movie.
You are right. One thing that Mr. Wilbur, you Arizona fan, and I will agree on. Young Frankenstein is an epically good movie. I bet it stands up to the test of time now, I think. All right. So shall we go ahead and try to spin the old wheel of sports?
Yeah, let's see if I can find the one that Randy left behind at the office here. It's got some.
All right.
Oh, it's got
that thing. It goes round and round. And okay, this is a little bit of an older one, but Patrick Mahomes, as you know, they him and his girlfriend or wife. Did they get married yet?
Wife. They did get married.
Oh, did they?
All right.
Yeah, they did get married.
Well, Sterling Sky is the name of his new baby girl. And so now, not days after her birth, Texas Tech has started recruiting her. Yes, she was born February 20th, and now not even a month old. Texas Tech has sent a letter of intent. They posted it online, but they've also sent it to Patrick Mahomes and to give her a soccer scholarship. So, as you know, his fiance, you guys are wrong. They haven't been married yet. His fiance, Brittany Matthews, would play. She used to play soccer too. So that's why she was a soccer star at the University of Texas. So they are now recruiting the baby. Of course, it's not real. It was just their way of saying congratulations. But,
right.
When the kid gets a little older, they start showing around that letter of intent right there. That ain't bad.
That's fantastic.
All right.
That's
spin the wheel.
I forgot that lights up.
Yeah. Again, I don't know what is up with your team, Keon. I'm talking about the Washington football team. Why are they waiting another year to pick their name? They announced, okay, remember we said we were working on a name? Well, we will announce after this season. Why are they waiting another season, and do you buy anything that they're saying?
Well, I don't buy anything that they're saying because they kept floating out the idea that we might be the Washington football team forever, and that we're just going to be the mascotless football team.
How do you
If it
feel about that
sticks,
idea?
I actually don't mind it. It's kind of grown on me. I already own a cup and a hoodie with the Washington football team on it. I bought into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm in. I think that they've hoodwinked all of us, and they've lulled us into a place of complacency,
Right.
so they don't have to bother changing the name.
You realize that that's all they want is for you to buy more stuff before they ask you to buy more stuff again. And if I were a fan of this team, I would be furious because that's all this is as we get busted for having a stupid racist name way longer into this century than we ever should have, then now we're going to use our becoming good guys by shaking our fans down for more money. I get you didn't go the full jersey, you bought the sweatshirt. I get you didn't get like the little pull-out chair, you got the cup. I get that you're being restrained, but you're still giving them money, and they're still making money, and they're going to make even more when this thing changes over. How hard was it to turn around and rename this team? Seriously, come on.
It wasn't that hard, but they know we'll buy anything that they put burgundy and gold on.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward. I hope it's the what was it, the Red Tails?
Red Tails, yeah, that's pretty good.
I think
Red
that's my
Tails,
favorite.
The Red Wolves was another one because there are Red Wolves native to that area.
Irish
so
Wolves?
those are the two leaders.
Didn't they also go with like the Hogs? Wasn't that rumored around there? I kind of like that one.
Nobody likes that one.
Well,
Nobody
they used to
likes
be
that
the
one.
Hogs.
Nobody.
It was
I
their
mean,
like,
the offensive line in particular.
Keon, who do you want? What would you like this team to be called? You're a fan.
Yeah, I'm all in on Red Tails. Honor the Tuskegee Airmen.
Sure.
Go ahead
Airplanes.
and yeah, and
Good
and you
logo.
can still keep the colors. Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of options there. I'm all in on Red Tails.
All the way around, I approve as well. In fact, yeah, I've seen some of the mock-ups of those jerseys, the airplanes and everything that it represents. 2 thumbs up from this guy. All right, guys, we got to get out of here. Just the tip wants you to remember that today is the 41st birthday of Arizona's best homegrown athlete, Todd Heap. At Mountain View, he is 2-time football state champion. I don't have time to read the rest, just a tip. You should have sent this in earlier. I would have read that for you. We're out of time. See you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Well, I started my own restaurant because I love to cook, but that also means a lot of greasy pots and pans. And we can't waste time with endless sink changeovers.